Chapter 1, 26. The next day, Thursday. It was still by Ruashi's professional knowledge class at night. Although it was called a professional class, everyone knew that this was the martial arts university's way of imparting basic knowledge to them in the martial arts circle. Building 6. That night, Ruashi brought a lot of printed papers with her. As soon as he arrived in class, he distributed a copy to everyone. What you have now is the most authoritative Grandmaster ranking. Of course, it's only for the Hua Nation, and not for other regions. Fong Ping had actually seen the Grandmaster ranking on the internet before, but the ones on the internet were very simple, and most of them were people from the business world. The new ranking list was quite different from the one on the internet. Master ranking first, Li Jun, Commander-in-Chief of Military Department, rank 9. Second, Zhang Tao, Minister of Education, rank 9. Third, Shen Haoqian, North Guardian, rank 9. Fourth, Chen Gaiang, Eastern Guardian, rank 9. Fong Ping scanned it briefly and was slightly stunned. He could not help but ask Fu Changding beside him in a low voice, "What's a guardian?" Fu Changding looked at him in surprise. After a while, he explained, "You're really ignorant about politics. In Hua, the central government ruled the country. The military, education, and detective departments were under the jurisdiction of the central government. Although these 3 departments were said to be the strongest, they actually neglected one thing. They were the governors of the various regions. The viceroy had the power to govern a region and was under the direct jurisdiction of the central government. In between, there was actually another authority, the East, South, West, and North Guardians. Usually, the main task of the 4 guardians was to supervise the various parties. They were considered the superiors of the governor and could also be seen as a supervisory organization. The Guardian Manor has a lot of power, but it also has a large area of jurisdiction. It won't be stationed in one place. Is that so?" Fong Ping frowned. "I don't think it's mentioned on the internet." "That's normal. The Guardian Mansion is actually very low-key. To be honest, almost no one knows about the appointment of the Guardian Mansion's guardian envoys. I didn't really understand it before, but now I can roughly guess. Maybe the House of Guardians is also responsible for suppressing the entrance to the catacombs, so they don't want to be too high-profile. The Guardian is this strong." Fong Ping took a look. The top 10 Grandmaster powerhouses, the 4 guardians of the House of Guardians, were all on the list. Together with the ministers of the 3 departments, they occupied 7 spots. In addition, among the top 10, there were also 2 people from the central government on the list. Of course, they were not the top few big shots of the government. Those big shots were not on the list. It was unknown whether it was because their strength was average, their management ability was outstanding, or they were avoiding it. In short, he didn't see any of those big shots in the top 10. The 3 departments, the Guardian's Mansion, and the central government occupied 9 of the top 10 places. From this, it could be seen that the central government was definitely confident in being able to govern so many experts. Among the top 10, there was only one person who wasn't an official. 8th, Zhao Xingwu, Sect Alliance leader. Fong Ping took a look and asked curiously, "What's a Sect Alliance?" Before Fu Changding could say anything, Ruashi walked over and smiled. "Didn't I say it before?" Before the establishment of Capital Martial Arts Club, the inheritance of martial arts was in the form of sects, gangs, and martial arts centers. After that, martial arts universities appeared. Although forces like the sects had declined, they had been passed down for so many years that it was impossible for them to give up completely. Furthermore, the sects also had their own unique characteristics. Due to the lack of resources and isolation, their numbers were small, and their overall strength was not strong. However, there were still experts among them. The government established the Sect Management Department and included the sects in the management system. The sect alliance is actually an alliance system established by these sects to ensure a certain degree of authority. Mr. Zhao Xingwu is the leader, fighting for status and resources for the sections. I thought the sects were all destroyed. Fang Ping was a little surprised. He did not expect the sects to still exist. Bai Ruoxi smiled. There's no need to be surprised. There will always be people who are a little stubborn. It's impossible for everyone to give up on the sects that have been passed down for so many years. The government won't reject their existence either. As long as they abide by the laws and regulations, it's up to them. Actually, you can also see them as a different kind of martial arts university. The sect leaders and the like are seen as principals, elders, and protectors. You can just see them as instructors. Are the sects strong? Average? Bai Ruoxi smiled again. Let's put it this way. There are about 20 to 30 sects left. I don't pay much attention to the exact number. If they exist in the form of an alliance, then their strength is not weak, comparable to MCMEU. However, if they exist in a single sect, then their strength is very low. Some sects have 1 middle rank and 3 to 5 low ranks. How strong do you think they can be? In the modern era, the sects have become weaker and weaker. If it weren't for Leader Zhao supporting them, the number of sects would probably be even smaller than it is now. Fang Ping thought about it and felt that it was normal. There were fewer martial artists. The sects were the giants, a special class. However, there were more martial artists and martial arts universities. The central government ruled the country and had countless resources. Whether it was cultivation resources or population resources, the sects could not compare. Martial arts universities could recruit students from all over the country. Could the sects do the same? As time went on, the sects would naturally decline. Fang Ping did not ask any more questions and continued reading. On the list, there were some he had heard of and some he had not. There were businessmen, government personnel, military powerhouses, and martial arts university powerhouses. Of course, Fang Ping also saw a few sect martial artists on the list. Capital City Martial Arts University's principal was ranked 36th on the list. His strength was peak rank 8. There were 2 peak rank 8 martial artists ahead of him. In other words, there were 33 rank 9 martial artists in Sino Nation. This was much more than Fang Ping had imagined. MCMU's principal was ranked 41st. He was also a peak rank 8 powerhouse. Fang Ping waited until Brother Ma was out of the top 100 at the 104th place. This rank 8 powerhouse who had broken through rank 8 and was famous in Polar Light was actually ranked outside the 100th place. The Grandmaster list only stopped abruptly after the 300th place. Fang Ping did not look at them in detail. After he was done, he asked Fu Changding, "Are there more than 300 Grandmasters in Sino Nation?" Fu Changding shook his head. "I don't know. There should be. Maybe even more. Maybe even 4 to 500. Of course, there might not be so many. Actually, from what I know, the number is much less than this. I didn't even know about many of them before. I guess they might be guarding the catacombs. The Grandmasters who are active in the country should be about 100. Fang Ping nodded. 100 or so was his previous opinion. There were about 30 Grandmaster powerhouses active in the business world. On the government side, there were only about 10 active Grandmaster governors. Fang Ping estimated the number of powerhouses in the military department. He estimated that there were about 40 to 50 of them in total, including the powerhouses from martial arts universities. There were about 100 of them. Now, it seemed that he had underestimated the number of Grandmasters in Sino Nation. There are so many Grandmasters. No wonder they could suppress 22 catacombs entrances. I thought that middle ranks were already powerhouses. Now, it seems that I was too optimistic. In reality, with a population of more than 1 billion, Sino Nation producing 300 to 400 Grandmasters was close to 1 in 5 million. This ratio was not considered high. Some small countries had a population of tens of millions. Based on this ratio, how many grandmasters would there be in a country? Of course, it might not be based on population. Small countries could survive well because they had more resources and more powerhouses. There were dozens of provinces in Sino Nation, evenly distributed. There were only about 10 grandmasters in each province. This included those who guarded the catacombs and did not show their faces. The number of grandmasters who appeared in the open was very small. It was considered good that Nanjiang had a few grandmasters. After looking at the grandmaster list, Bairuoshi smiled and said, "Grandmasters are a little far from us. Actually, martial arts university students are more concerned about the 3 lower ranks list. However, martial artists in the 3 lower ranks are the largest group. There are millions of martial artists in Sino Nation. More than 80% of them are in the 3 lower ranks. That's 800,000 people. One can imagine that with so many martial artists, and not all of them fighting each other, it's extremely difficult to come up with an authoritative list. That's why everyone entertains themselves. It's up to others whether they approve of the list or not. Among the 3 lower ranks list, there are 3 more authoritative ones. One is made by MCMU, another by Capital City Martial Arts University, and the last one is made by the Department of Investigation Services. The list made by the Department of Investigation Services is relatively more objective. As she said that, Bairuoshi added, "I sent it to you just now. It's on the last page. You can flip through it." Fong Ping hurriedly flipped to the last page. Different from the Grandmaster list, there was only one page for martial artists in the 3 lower ranks, which was 100. He skimmed through it. Fong Ping had never heard of those at the top of the list. It was normal. Martial artists in the 3 lower ranks were not that famous. There were those from Capital City Martial Arts University, MCMAU, and other martial arts universities. Fong Ping searched for a while and found Wang Jinyang's name. This list was probably not recent. Wang Jinyang had not broken through before, so it was normal for him to be listed as a martial artist in the 3 lower ranks. Number 27, Nanjiang Martial Arts University, Wang Jinyang. Old Wang is only ranked 27 in the 3 lower ranks. Fong Ping was in slight disbelief. This was Old Wang, who had swept through the 3 lower ranks, the kind that MCMAU and CCMU could not even lift their heads. Feeling a little unfair on Old Wang's behalf, Fong Ping said directly, "Teacher Bai, Nanjiang Martial Arts University's Wang Jinyang is only ranked 27. Bairuoshi smiled faintly. "You know Wang Jinyang, right? Ranking 27 is actually very high. You have to know that Sino Nation is very big. Not only are there public martial arts universities, there are also SECs, the military department, the Department of Investigation Services, and the Catacombs Guardians. This ranking is just a collection of information about martial artists that are more public." Although Wang Jinyang had a good record in both MCMAU and CCMU, he was only a rank 1 in MCMAU. The rank 3 martial artists that CCMU challenged were not really the most outstanding ones. Many peak rank 3 martial artists are actually in the catacombs. They are not very interested in these challenges, but their performance in the catacombs or in other missions is extremely outstanding. Being able to enter the top 100 is a reflection of their strength. As for the top 100, the ranking does not represent their true strength. After all, these people have not fought each other before. Fong Ping nodded slightly, agreeing with this point. Yang Xiaoman, who was sitting in the front row, said with some envy, "I wonder when we can enter this list." Bairuoshi smiled without saying a word. There were too many martial artists in the 3 lower ranks. Did they really think that anyone could enter? Peak rank 3 Wang Jinyang, who had achieved many shocking results in the north, was only ranked 27. In MCMU, there were currently only 6 people in the 3 lower ranks who had entered the top 100. These 6 people were almost all Year 4 students. None of them were currently on campus, and they were all breaking through to rank 4. Maybe they had already broken through. Yang Xiaoman's strength was not bad among the new students, but as a Year 4, she might not be able to enter the top 100. Some people might be very strong, but if they did not fight and kept a low profile, they would not be entered. Fang Ping did not pay attention to Yang Xiaoman's words. He looked back at the ranking again. The person in first place was a rank 3 martial artist from the military department. Most of the top 10 were also from the military department. Fang Ping guessed that it might be because the other party was in the catacombs and had more opportunities to fight. So the martial artists in the 3 lower ranks in the military department were also stronger. On MCMU's side, the person with the highest ranking was a senior who was ranked 16th, Chen Wenlong. Fang Ping asked around and found out that Fu Changbing actually knew about him. He was a Year 3 student who was also the vice president of the Martial Arts Society, but he was always not on campus. Fu Changbing said with some regret, when Wang Jinyang came to MCMU last time, Senior Chen was not around. Otherwise, we might have been able to see peak rank 3 lower martial artists fight. For us, middle-ranked and high-ranked martial artists are a little far from us. The 3 lower ranks, however, are very close to us, everyone discussed for a while. Some people talked about wanting to be on the ranking list in the future. Some people thought that the ranking list was not very reliable. MCMU's most powerful rank 3 student was actually ranked 16th. Moreover, the Grandmaster ranking did not meet everyone's expectations. MCMU's vice-chancellor was only ranked 41st. At first, everyone thought that MCMU's vice-chancellor would definitely be in the top 10. Even if he was not in the top 10, he had to be in front of CCMU's vice-chancellor. Now, not only was the vice-chancellor weaker than other vice-chancellors, but so were the students. On CCMU's side, there were 8 martial artists in the 3 lower ranks in the top 100. The strongest one was in the top 10, ranked 6th. Compared to MCMU, they were much more powerful. MCMU, which was known as one of the big 2, seemed to be weaker than the other side in every aspect. This made many students feel indignant. The strongest was still the military department. Whether it was the Grandmaster ranking or other ranking lists, there were many powerhouses in the military department. Hearing the discussion, Bai Ruoshi said softly, they also earned their honor by risking their lives. Compared to the martial artists in the military department, martial arts university students are so much luckier. Some of the martial artists in the military department did not become martial artists, but they were already fighting in the catacombs. When they became martial artists, they were also fighting from the beginning. Of course, they might not be as all-round as the MCMU students. MCMU students did not only have killing as their goal, they also had to learn some cultural and management classes. However, being all-round also meant that they were not focused enough. In addition, they had little experience and training, so it was normal for them to fall behind the other side in martial arts. These 2 days, we have been attending professional knowledge classes. When the weekend comes, you will all be attending other classes. After chatting with the students for a while, Bai Ruoshi reminded them. When the class was over, Bai Ruoshi suddenly said to Fang Ping and Zhao Xuemei, your instructor went to the catacombs yesterday. She was not in school during this period. She left in a hurry, so she did not have time to inform you. If you have any questions, you can look for me. Instructor went to the catacombs. Chapter 1, 27. Lu Fengru had gone to the catacombs. Fang Ping and Zhao Xuemei could only cultivate on their own before the special training classes started. Fortunately, both of them focused on honing their bones. Lu Fengru's absence did not affect them much. In the blink of an eye, it was Saturday. The special training classes did not start in the evening, but in the morning. In the morning, Fang Ping and the others did not go to their usual classroom. Instead, they went to a martial arts training classroom in Building 6. This time, the instructor was not Bai Ruoshi. Not long after Fong Ping and the others arrived, Luo Yichuan entered the classroom. As soon as he entered the classroom, Luo Yichuan asked directly, "Everyone knows about the catacombs." Everyone nodded. The situation is not good now. More than 50 instructors from MCMAU have entered the catacombs to guard it. The vice-chancellor and dean don't have time to care about the special training classes. But that doesn't mean they don't care. MCMU can't afford to lose now. If they lose, their allocation of resources next year might be reduced by about 30%. This is not a price MCMU can afford. Therefore, everyone must pay attention to the upcoming training. After saying that, Luo Yichuan said, "I'll teach everyone the use of weapons." Although some students don't use weapons, in the 3 lower ranks, the advantages of weapons cannot be ignored. Whether you major or not, it's necessary to know a little bit. At least you won't be in situations where you can only hack and slash without knowing how to use a weapon. Luo Yichuan majored in spear techniques, but it did not mean that he did not know how to use other weapons. He had a deep understanding of cold weapons. In martial arts universities or among new students, the saber is the most commonly used weapon. However, in daily life, what we can get and come into contact with the most is a staff. Today, I'll teach everyone the basics of staff techniques. The requirements for a staff that is most suitable for martial artists are not high but not low either. Now, everyone pick a solid wooden staff that is taller than you. It has to be easy to use. Not too long, not too short. Everyone was quite interested in learning weapons. After hearing that, they all went to the side to pick a wooden staff. After everyone had picked a wooden staff, Fong Ping looked around and saw a large group of students holding a wooden staff. He suddenly felt like laughing. This scene was like a group of beggars holding a dog-beating stick. All they lacked was a bowl. Luo Yichuan quickly noticed the change in his expression. Frowning slightly, Luo Yichuan suddenly said, "Fong Ping, step forward." Fong Ping stood up hurriedly. "Before I teach you how to use a stick, you must know that even a wooden stick without a blade is extremely lethal. Now let me demonstrate the basic moves of the staff technique." As he spoke, Luo Yichuan looked at Fong Ping and said, "As the class monitor, you'll have to cooperate with me and show everyone the practical effects of staff techniques." Fong Ping suddenly had a bad feeling, but he could only nod and say, "Okay, watch carefully." As soon as Luo Yichuan finished speaking, the staff in his hand was instantly leveled horizontally, thrusting toward Fong Ping. Fong Ping felt that his movements were not fast enough. Just as he was about to retreat, he used the wooden staff in his hand to block. However, it was his first time using a stick, so he wasn't very familiar with it. Before he could block, Luo Yichuan's wooden stick had already pierced toward his chest. Bang! Fong Ping felt a sharp pain in his chest. His face paled, and he quickly took a few steps back. Staff techniques, there are very few basic moves. Hit, hack, stab, pick, pull, lift, pierce, push. This is stabbing. You have to be fast and strong. You don't have to stab the chest. Our targets are the heart and throat. As Luo Yichuan spoke, he swung the wooden stick at Fong Ping. This is hacking. When hacking, you have to be steady, and your strength must be penetrating. Bang! This time, Fong Ping hurriedly swung the stick to block. Holding the wooden stick with both hands, he finally managed to block Luo Yichuan's hack. However, Fong Ping felt his hands go numb, and the web between his thumb and forefinger hurt. If the opponent blocks, you can continue hacking. You have to use more strength. Luo Yichuan did not stop. He continued hacking. The sounds of the sticks colliding became louder. Fong Ping's face was flushed red, and he retreated continuously. He could only use the wooden stick to block. Of course, if you can't do it, you have to learn to change your moves in time. The opponent is in a defensive position, and his strength and attention are all focused on the upper half of his body. At this moment, you can quickly change your moves. Sweep. Sweep the stick across a large area. The tip of the stick should be close to the ground, and the body should be tilted and swung. The sweep must be fast and powerful, and the force must reach the tip of the stick. He spoke slowly, but his movements were extremely fast. Fong Ping was still holding the wooden stick in defense when Luo Yichuan's stick swept toward him. It was not aimed at his feet, but at his calves. Fong Ping's expression changed. His reaction was a beat too slow, and Luo Yichuan's stick hit his left calf. Hiss! Fong Ping's leg was in extreme pain. He was not feeling well. Luo Yichuan did not go easy on him. Next pick. Luo Yichuan did not care about him. He had just finished sweeping the long stick when he changed his move again. He flicked it upward, and the wooden stick hit the stick in Fong Ping's hand. The vibrations numbed Fong Ping's web between his thumb and forefinger, and he could not help but want to let go. This is seduction. The long stick changed again. Fong Ping's expression changed. Where was he hitting? Could he hit his nether regions? Fong Ping retreated hastily, but Luo Yichuan followed closely, unwilling to let go. The stick changed again. This is pulling. This is piercing. A minute later, Luo Yichuan retracted his stick, his face not red, and he was not panting. He said, "I've demonstrated the basic moves to everyone just now." Did everyone see it clearly? No. Many people held back their laughter and shouted hurriedly. At the side, Fong Ping was in a sorry state. There were many red and swollen areas on his hands and feet. Even his face was red and bruised. Luo Yichuan said lightly, "Don't underestimate any weapon. If you use it well, it's a deadly weapon. I only used rank 1 strength just now. The upper limit of my vitality outburst is not more than 200 calories. Student Fong Ping, watch carefully and learn carefully. Even if you don't use a weapon, it's an additional skill. Even if you don't learn it, understanding it will help you in the future." Fong Ping looked embarrassed and nodded hurriedly. "All right, get in line. I'll split it up and teach you one move at a time. Ask if you don't understand." When Fong Ping returned to line, Fu Changding said sympathetically, "Your face is swollen. Get lost. It's really swollen. Get lost. Speaking of which, it's not that easy to be a class monitor. Fong Ping, the other instructors won't ask you to demonstrate, will they? If you say one more word, I'll beat you to death right now." Fong Ping's face was gloomy. The corner of his mouth twitched slightly. He had a bad feeling. Was he being too high profile? Now that his instructor was not in school, he could only be at the mercy of these rank 6 instructors. In fact, Fu Changding's jinx was spot on. In the next few days, Tang Feng taught leg techniques, Zhou Shiping taught palm techniques, and Luo Yichuan taught the familiarity and use of various weapons. Every time, there was only one target, Fong Ping. Every time, Fong Ping would get beaten up. He was indignant at first, but he eventually resigned to his fate. He was only pulled onto the stage for the first demonstration. Soon, the students had their own combat training. Fong Ping changed his opponent every time. He would switch to whoever laughed the loudest. His mastery of these moves might not be better than the others, but his vitality was strong and his explosive power was strong. Every time he fought, Fong Ping only used one move against him. Hack. He hacked with a staff, a saber, and even his fists and legs. In the end, everyone in the special training class, except for a few people, had bruises all over their faces. Fong Ping was no exception. In October, the special training class's training was mainly focused on teaching basic moves. Every day, the students in the special training class were compensated with a normal vitality pill to recover their vitality. Bai Ruoshi's professional knowledge class became the most popular class. It was the only day that everyone did not have to get beaten up. Lu Fengru only returned to school in late October. Faculty Dormitory, Area 1, Villa Number 8. Fong Ping and Zhao Shumei entered the villa together with bruises on their faces. Lu Fengru was leaning on the sofa watching television. When she saw them, she said lazily, "Let's find a place to sit." Fang Ping and Zhao Shumei sat down on one side of the sofa. The catacombs incident is over for now. This round of attacks has been cleared. However, it is a fact that the catacombs creatures are attacking the catacombs gate more frequently. Everyone's demand for resources will increase. Now that the school has made time, the other schools will do the same. Your training will become more complicated starting from this month's basic training. Of course, it will also become dangerous. Fang Ping, how many bones have you honed? At the beginning of October, Fang Ping had honed 28 bones. It had been more than 20 days since then. Fang Ping replied immediately, "I've honed 40 bones." 40 already? Yes. After honing my right lower limb, the honing of my left foot has sped up a lot. Not bad. It's not slow. Lu Fengru rarely praised him. Zhao Xuemei's expression was so complicated that she could eat someone alive. She whispered, "Instructor, I've also honed 40 bones." Her progress this month was not bad either. The vitality pills provided by the special training class had saved her from having to worry about replenishing her vitality. In the first month, she had honed 4 bones. This month, she had honed 5 bones even faster. However, when she had honed 31 bones, Fang Ping was still not a martial artist. She had honed 40 bones, but Fang Ping had also honed 40 bones. The difference was too big. Lu Fengru smiled faintly. "There's no need to feel inferior. He has honed his bones 3 times, and you've only honed once. He has his secrets. At least his vitality replenishes faster than yours. It's not surprising that he has such progress. You're doing well, too. By the end of the semester, you'll have honed 50 bones. If you have more, you might even reach peak rank 1. As for Fang Ping, he might reach peak rank 1 soon. However, an increase in honing progress and vitality strength does not mean an increase in strength." After saying that, Lu Fengru was silent for a moment. Then she said, "The catacombs are getting more and more dangerous. That's why all of you need to improve your strength in all aspects, including actual combat." Fang Ping, "Are you still the same as before? Have you decided whether or not you want to participate in the championship?" Fang Ping looked conflicted. After a moment, he nodded. "I've decided. I want to participate. I heard that there are a lot of rewards this time. The company had not been profitable. In reality, it was not that fast. This early stage was a business of throwing money at it." His wealth had been depleting recently. Although he had obtained about 30 normal vitality pills this month, the increased wealth was not enough for him to hone his bones. At his previous peak, his wealth had already reached 6 million. This month, he had spent more than 2 million wealth. Even with the pills as compensation, his wealth did not increase. Yesterday, it had dropped to 8 million. "Xuemei, what about you?" Zhao Xuemei said with determination, "I want to participate, but I might not have the chance." She was in the special training class now. Her strength was not considered weak, but there were at least 10 or 20 people who were similar to her. In the end, she might not have the chance to participate. Lu Fengru did not console her. She smiled. "Since you both want to participate, then there's no problem. With this thought, you'll have the motivation to improve. As your instructor, if both of you can participate in the championship at the end and show off your skills, it will also make me proud. Go back and pack up tonight. Take 2 days off. I'll bring you out for a trip in the next 2 days." Fang Ping was a little uncomfortable. He whispered, "Instructor, are we going to the catacombs?" "Ha!" Lu Fengru looked at him with disdain. She did not even bother to answer. Would she bring 2 rookies to the catacombs to die? Even if Fang Ping had killed 2 people earlier, they were still rookies. Coming out of Villa number 8, Fang Ping looked at Zhao Xuemei. "Where do you think the instructor is bringing us?" "I don't know." Zhao Xuemei did not know, and did not want to guess. She said casually, anywhere is fine. I think it's a good thing. That's not necessarily true. I've always thought that our instructor is not very reliable. Zhao Xuemei glanced at him. After walking for a while, she said, a loose tongue can cause trouble. Don't you know that a peak rank 6 can hear very far? The instructor can't be that bored, right? That's not necessarily true. Zhao Xuemei laughed. She said with a hint of schadenfreude, looks like you haven't been beaten up enough. You speak as if you haven't been beaten up, Fong Ping retorted. When they reached the new student dormitory area, he asked, are you really going to participate in the championship? I don't think it's necessary for girls to participate. Let's not talk about me first. What about you? Zhao Xuemei asked in return. I don't think you care much about winning or losing the championship. Why do you want to participate? To get benefits, Fong Ping said helplessly. I feel like I've used up too much recently. The school's daily supplements are too little. If we don't participate in the championship, will the school give us any benefits? If this goes on, we'll really run out of money. I also feel that the instructor wants us to participate. It might have something to do with the worsening situation. I still have to stay in the school for a few years. I'm still a new student. If I don't stand up for the school now, how do you think the school will look at me? During this period of time, Fong Ping had thought it through. He was not a nobody among the new students. If he avoided the battle, how would the school think of him? Although the school said they would not force him, if he, the rookie king, was not willing to contribute, the other students would definitely have psychological changes. The best case scenario was that the school did not care. The worst case scenario was that the school felt that Fong Ping did not have a sense of belonging to MCMU at all. In the future, they would not favor him in terms of resources, and it would be normal for them to give up on cultivating Fong Ping. MCMU had thick thighs. At this time, Fong Ping could not give up his status as an MCMU top student. Otherwise, there would be trouble in the future. When Zhao Xuemei heard this, she said gloomily, we're still worrying about getting a spot to participate in the championship. Look at you. If I were you, I wouldn't hesitate at all. We're different. Fong Ping spoke the truth. If it was possible, he really wanted to advance to rank 2 or rank 3 steadily, all the way to Grandmaster. Chapter 128. The next day, Fong Ping and Zhao Xuemei were waiting at the school gates early in the morning. Lu Fengru did not walk. She drove there, a red sports car. Fong Ping had not gone out for 2 months. He had almost forgotten about the car. Now that he saw Lu Fengru driving, he could not help but feel a little out of place. What are you looking at? Get in. Lu Fengru was very fashionable. She even wore sunglasses. After Fong Ping and Zhao Xuemei got in the car, Lu Fengru did not say much. The car sped out of the school. The car drove all the way to the suburbs of Magic City. Finally, the car stopped in front of a compound. Get out. Fong Ping got out of the car quickly and looked around. It was very desolate, very different from Magic City's urban area. He could even see farmlands nearby. The compound where the car was parked was not a high-rise building, but it was not small. 2 strong men stood at the gate. They did not say anything when they saw Lu Fengru. They sized them up and then looked away. Lu Fengru ignored them and did not show them any identification. She led Fong Ping and Zhao Xuemei into the compound. When they reached the depths of the compound, Lu Fengru stopped in front of a guarded door. Is there a death match today? The guard was also a strong man. After hearing the question, he looked at Fong Ping and Zhao Xuemei's innocent faces and grinned. Yes, 10,000 per person. Lu Fengru did not pay. She threw a normal vitality pill at him. The guard glanced at it and nodded slightly. Go in. After entering the door, Fong Ping realized that it was a whole different world. There were a few more doors behind the door. Lu Fengru looked straight ahead. Gradually, Fong Ping heard a hubbub of noise and voices. Fong Ping realized something and asked in a low voice, "Instructor, is this an underground fight?" "Sort of, but it's semi-public. It's not like martial artists don't have disputes. The government doesn't encourage people to fight to the death in front of the public. Therefore, these places came into being. Those who have grudges, those who hate, those who want to earn money, those who want to train, and those who want to see blood all come here. Martial arts university students are few in number. They're all treasures. They can't arrange for people to kill them every day. Here, there's no such concern. Many of the cultivators here are not good people. Even if I kill them, I won't feel guilty." With that, the shouts from the front grew louder and louder. "Kill him! Kill him! Trash! Get up! Kill him! Blow his head off!" Fong Ping frowned slightly. Zhao Xuemei's face was pale as well. Lu Fengru said faintly, "I didn't ask you to go on stage. Go in and take a look first. You'll get used to it after seeing some blood. Watch more life and death battles and broaden your horizons. At the critical moment, you won't get weak at the sight of a dead person." Lu Fengru had brought them out this time to see blood. That time in school was really nothing. It happened too fast. Fong Ping might not even be used to it. Both of them did not speak and followed Lu Fengru through the last door. As soon as he entered, Fong Ping could feel the feverish atmosphere. Just like some boxing matches, it was surrounded by stands, and in the middle was the ring. At this moment, there were many people in the audience. There were men and women, young and old, and the noise was very loud. In the arena, two men were fighting. It was not appropriate to say that they were fighting. One of them had already been knocked to the ground, just as Fong Ping and the others entered. The person who was still standing suddenly kicked the head of the person who had fallen to the ground. Immediately after, the big screens around them gave a close-up. Ugh. Zhao Xuemei took one look and could not help but want to vomit. Lu Fengru snorted. "Hold it in. This is the life and death arena. It's normal for people to die. There are winners and losers, and there are exhibition matches too. But those have nothing to do with you. Your mission today is to watch the competition. You have to be calm and collected when you see blood. Only then will you achieve your goal. Don't get weak at the knees. If normal people can take it, there's no reason you can't. Also, don't be affected by the atmosphere. The audience around them went crazy. Some of them were yelling with bloodshot eyes, which led the crowd around them to yell crazily too. Lu Fengru was not affected at all. Seeing Zhao Xuemei's lowered head, she suddenly frowned. "Look, can't you even take this little bit? If you can't take it, then get out now and go back to school. Don't bring up the matter of being disqualified. Instructor, get out, or open your eyes wide, and watch carefully." Zhao Xuemei's face was pale, but she did not move. She endured the nausea and trembled, raising her head to look at the arena. Beside her, Fong Ping was much better. It was not the first time he had seen such a situation. Back in Auspicious Sun, the evil sect martial artist was beaten to death on the spot. Blood even splattered all over him. He had really vomited then. Last time, he had killed 2 people with his own hands. At that time, his legs were also very weak. After that, it was not too much of an obstacle. Now, although it was a little disgusting and bloody, Fong Ping could still take it. As he was thinking, Lu Fengru suddenly said, "Zhao Xuemei, watch here." "Fong Ping, follow me." Fong Ping hurried after her. Lu Fengru led him backstage. Fong Ping was a little nervous. Was she asking him to go on stage? He was not too happy to accept a fight to the death for no reason. A minute later, the 2 of them arrived backstage. There should be surveillance here. Soon, a middle-aged, brawny man with a strong aura walked toward them. When he saw Lu Fengru, the brawny man smiled. "What brings Lu? Invincible instructor here? It's my honor." "Cut the crap." Lu Fengru did not stand on ceremony either. She pointed at Fong Ping and said, "Him." make arrangements to collect and examine the corpse. Fong Ping was stunned, but the burly man was not surprised. He chuckled and said, "Sure, Lil Zhao." Following the burly man's shout, a young man jogged over and said respectfully, "Boss, take this little brother to the morgue. If someone dies later, let him go up to the stage to collect the corpse." "Oh, right, just leave him alone in the morgue." Fong Ping's expression changed. He could not help but glance at Lu Fengru. Lu Fengru did not care about him. She found a place to sit down and said lazily, "Open your eyes wide and look. It's just a corpse. Are you afraid? By the way, are there any horror movies? Find the scariest movie in the morgue and close the door. Don't let him run around. Instructor, training courage. Cut the crap. Are you coming or not? If you don't go, I'll throw you into the arena now. Don't blame me if you get beaten to death." Fong Ping pulled a long face and followed little Zhao to the back. As the two of them walked, Fong Ping laughed dryly. "Brother, my instructor was just joking. There's no need to play horror movies." Little Zhao shook his head quickly and said, "That won't do. Since I said it's the scariest movie, then it must be played. Little brother, don't be afraid. People are already dead, so there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just a horror movie. It's nothing." Fong Ping was speechless. It was nothing. It was easy for him to say. Fortunately, it was not nighttime and there were many people around, so he was not too worried. However, the further they walked, the fewer people there were. The place became darker and the lights dimmed. Fong Ping felt a little uncomfortable. Was he doing this on purpose? After walking for a few minutes, they could no longer hear the shouts in front of them. Little Zhao brought Fong Ping to a stop in front of a room. There were two people standing guard outside the door. When they saw little Zhao, they greeted him immediately. "Brother Zhao." "Yes. Nothing's been done inside, right?" "Not yet." "That's good. Let this little brother in. Turn on the TV inside and play Spirit Souls Lock. Dim the lights. Same rules. You two can leave after you're done." Little Zhao made the arrangements naturally. It was obvious that this was not the first time he had done this. The two people guarding outside the doors stared at Fong Ping and laughed. They did not dawdle and hurried inside to make the arrangements. Soon, the two of them left the door. They laughed and said, "It's done. Little brother, go in." Xiao Xiao looked at Fong Ping with a smile on his face. Fong Ping was a little conflicted. He gritted his teeth and walked in. He had just entered, and before he could see what was going on, the door was closed. "Little brother, we'll leave first. If someone dies later, we'll call you. It'll be fine. We've been here for so many years, and we've never seen a corpse come back to life." Before he finished speaking, the footsteps outside the door gradually faded away. Fong Ping did not have the energy to complain. Lu Fengru was really imaginative. She had actually asked him to come to such a horrible place. Only now did Fong Ping have the mood to look at the layout of the room. The room was not big. It was about 50 square meters. There were a total of 6 beds arranged side by side. Currently, there were people on 3 of the beds, dead people. When Fong Ping came in earlier, the one who had been beaten to death was also there, and he was right next to him. Other than the beds, there was nothing else in the room. There was only a hanging television, which was currently playing. The 3 corpses all had hideous expressions. They were not covered, and the smell of blood was rather strong. Fong Ping glanced at them from the corner of his eye. He saw that all 3 of their eyes were wide open. He did not know if that was the case from the start, or if it was the doing of the 2 fellows just now. F***CK. Is this necessary? Fong Ping cursed. At that moment, there was only a small light bulb flickering weakly in the room, and the television screen was dimly lit. However, Fong Ping felt a little creeped out. Killing people and camping corpses were not the same. Murderers were not afraid when they killed people, but if they had to squat in front of corpses for an entire night, they would probably be scared out of their wits. I didn't kill you guys. I'm just here to take a look, Fong Ping muttered to himself to give himself some courage. At that moment, a faint voice came from the television. Fong Ping cursed again. Who are you trying to scare? Who's afraid of this thing? F***CK. He had just finished speaking when a bloody ghost face suddenly appeared on the television. Fong Ping was shocked. He panted and tried to find something to say. Seriously, instructor, there's no need to do this, is there? Outside the room, in another room dozens of meters away, Little Zhao and the other two were smoking and chatting. One of the two burly men guarding the door chuckled and said, "One look and you can tell that he's a newbie from a martial arts university. How long do you think he can last?" "Half an hour? I think he'll die at the end of 10 minutes. Do you want to take a gamble?" There were martial arts university students who came to train their courage before, but they were so scared that they peed their pants. Honestly, I don't understand why the government supports these martial arts university fellows so much. If we really throw them into the arena one by one, I guarantee they'll die quickly. Little Zhao shook his head slightly. Don't underestimate these geniuses. It's not like no one has ever been in the arena before. After surviving the first 3 rounds, these people have improved rapidly. Once they've trained their courage and gained experience, these brats are getting more and more ruthless. Their vitality is high and their cultivation methods are strong. Those casual martial artists really can't compare to them. That's true. It's a pity that we can't get into martial arts universities. The burly man sighed, then laughed and said, "These are all matters for the future. Brats who have just debuted aren't that powerful. Let's talk about this one. Look at him, he's probably a freshman. Do you think he'll run away in fear?" "I don't know. I added something to him. He'll definitely pee his pants later." Little Zhao frowned slightly. "What did you do?" "Nothing much. I just made a little toy. When those corpses suddenly jump up, do you think he'll cry?" "Nonsense." While these people were talking, Fong Ping gradually calmed down. "They're just dead people. I didn't kill them. Moreover, my strength is improving rapidly. Even if these fellows really come back to life, I'll beat them to death." Fong Ping muttered. He was no longer as afraid as he had been at first. He glanced at the corpses beside him. Fong Ping was even in the mood to size them up. He muttered, "Honed upper limbs. His right hand is thick and strong. The honing should be completed. His left hand doesn't seem to be completed. He honed between 35 to 45 bones, probably not more than 50. This one too. He's honed upper limbs too. This one's lower limbs. His bones are exposed. His opponent isn't weak. He actually broke his honed bones. He probably died from a punch. The vital point is in his throat. One punch shattered his laryngeal bones." Fong Ping began to analyze. In martial arts universities, there were also such courses. The main point was to analyze vital points and deduce combat techniques. After watching for a while, Fong Ping frowned slightly. What happened to this one? His vital points aren't even injured. How did he die? After a moment of hesitation, Fong Ping felt around the second corpse that was still relatively intact. Suppressing his disgust, he said, "His sternum is broken. His internal organs might have been pierced by the sternum, causing him to bleed to death." Rank 1 martial artists have a lot of vital points. When they reach rank 3 and complete the honing of their torso, they have much fewer vital points. Hitting the sternum with a punch isn't a big deal. If he's lucky, his internal organs won't be hurt, and he can still retaliate quickly. As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping's eyes twitched. He quickly retreated. A few corpses suddenly bounced up. Fong Ping's heart skipped a beat. Then, without thinking, he lifted his leg and swept it. Smack! The corpse that was swept was sent flying. Fong Ping was stunned for a moment. Then he said exasperatedly, "Childish." He was shocked earlier, but he was not completely defenseless now. he swept it over instinctively. When he saw the corpses fall to the ground, he knew that someone was playing a prank. "Don't blame me. I didn't kick you on purpose." Fong Ping apologized, lifted the man up, and placed him on the bed. Sigh. Martial artists. How sad. Fong Ping sighed. He did not know if these people were good or bad, but he was not afraid that they would take advantage of him a second time after he died. When he thought about it, it was quite sad. In the eyes of ordinary people, martial artists were high and mighty. However, once they entered the martial arts circle, they would realize that without strength, their lives were worse than ordinary people's. If I don't want this day to come, if I don't want to be abandoned in the wilderness, if I don't want to die in the catacombs, then I have to improve my strength as soon as possible. I can't just hide. Once something happens in the catacombs, no one can run. Wait a little longer. When I'm done honing my lower limbs, I'll take on some missions. I won't sit around and wait anymore. Fong Ping was talking to himself. He was no longer trying to boost his own courage. He was thinking about the future. Lu Fengru's idea of training courage might not be useful to Fong Ping. However, Fong Ping felt a little sad when he saw these martial artists dying so horribly that even their corpses were used to train courage. Chapter 129. Fong Ping stayed in the morgue for more than an hour. Since someone had died, Fong Ping went out to help carry the corpse once. He did not show much of a reaction throughout the entire process. Little Zhao and the others looked at him strangely. This newbie was performing well. Had he seen blood before? At lunchtime, Zhao Xuemei couldn't hold it in any longer and vomited. At noon, Lu Fengru treated them to a bloody steak. "You'll get used to it." Lu Fengru did not mind. She said calmly, "In the catacombs, there's no way to start a fire. You can only eat dry rations or raw food. Of course, if you had an energy mine, you could also eat cooked food. Is a source mine something that you can own? Besides, that thing was precious. Rather than using it to cook, it was better to exchange it for medicinal pills. Cooking with it was too wasteful. In the future, you have to get used to this kind of situation." As he said that, he looked at Fong Ping and asked, "What do you think?" "Martial artists aren't as glorious as ordinary people think." "That's right. Martial artists enjoy more, but they die faster. Blood chi martial artists are slightly better, but that's only for now. In the future, that might not be the case." "Yes. Have you considered fighting in the life and death arena?" Lu Fengru said, "The life and death arena can give you more fighting experience and let you experience what it's like to be on the brink of death. Of course, I won't force you. It's up to you." "Let me think about it. Teacher, I want to fight." Zhao Xuemei, who was vomiting, suddenly interrupted. Lu Fengru frowned and said softly, "You're too weak." "I'm not weak. I've honed 40 pieces of bones and broke through to become a martial artist with 169 calories vitality. I've learned combat techniques, and my pole standing is about to reach the firm stance. I've also mastered puncture kick. I think I'm not weak. At least, I'm not afraid of those people on the life and death arena today. There's no hurry now. You can take on some capture missions or participate in the regular competition. If you really want to experience life and death, you'll have to wait until you have enough experience. The current you is too immature." Unlike letting Fong Ping participate in the arena of life and death, Lu Fengru asked Zhao Xuemei to wait. "I can accept the quest now? And sure. All right." Zhao Xuemei's face was full of joy. She even forgot about the nausea from before. Fong Ping looked at her strangely. What was this woman doing? Zhao Xuemei didn't look at him. After thinking for a moment, she gritted her teeth and started eating the bloody steak. Her face was frighteningly pale. After eating for a while, Zhao Xuemei's face suddenly turned pale, and she said, "I'm going to the washroom." With that, he left in a hurry. As soon as she left, Lu Fengru said, "Stop looking. It's normal to pursue strength." her father was also a rank 4 martial artist. He had participated in the Tiananmen Catacombs battle and died. Her family also had a company which was not considered small. Now that her father had died, they were all keeping an eye on it. Without strength, it was only a matter of time before he lost it. It's still okay in martial arts universities now. With me as an instructor, it's still manageable. However, if he could not even reach rank 4 after graduating from university, how could he guard it? If she lost the company, would she be willing even if she was given some money? It's good for people to have some motivation. Unlike you. Fong Ping complained. Instructor, I have my own motivation too. I want to become stronger. I want to be rich. I want my family to have a good life. You call this motivation? However, it's a good thing that you're afraid of death. If you don't want to die, then there's pressure. Lu Fengru teased. Fong Ping looked embarrassed. She said it as if he was not afraid of death. We'll continue watching the battles in the afternoon. This time, it's not to see blood, but to learn. Learn the ruthlessness of these casual martial artists. Learn their element of surprise. Learn their PUBG survival. After watching today, you can try participating in a regular match tomorrow. What do you think? Will people die in a regular match? It depends on luck. Injuries are more common, but deaths are rare. It's not like the life and death arena, where it would be abnormal if there were no deaths. I'll try. Fong Ping exhaled. He could not just avoid battles. The safety of a regular match was still very high. If he did not even dare to do this, then he would have practiced martial arts for nothing. That afternoon, Fong Ping and Zhao Shumei watched the battles seriously, paying attention to the details. Fong Ping realized that these martial artists who participated in the life and death arena might not have high vitality and had not honed many bones, but their strength was not weak. Many times, they might be able to fight back even when they were beaten to a bloody pulp. It was different from Fong Ping's battles in school. These martial artists were more ruthless. Only then did Fong Ping realize that casual martial artists were also different. Tan Jinping and the others were pure vitality martial artists. But there were also casual martial artists who wanted to break through to a higher realm and pursue a higher path in martial arts. They did not have the resources of martial arts universities, the government's training, and they did not have the ability to start a company to make money. That was why these people set their sights on underground boxing markets. Rank 1 martial artists could get a minimum prize of 200,000 for participating in a life and death arena match. As for betting, it was entirely up to you. You could bet as much as you wanted. As for fake fights, if you were not afraid of death, you could try. Here, betting on the opponent to win might really end up with you being beaten to death. That was why martial artists would usually bet on themselves when they went on stage. If they died, it would be the end of it. If they won, it would be a big profit. After a life and death arena match, it was normal to earn 5 or 600,000. I can let old Wang fight. If I die, so be it. If I win, I'll make a big profit. Fong Ping muttered in his heart. Anyway, that guy seemed to be cheating, but he did not know that it was not as if someone had never participated in a life and death arena match before. Of course, after a few matches, the circle in Nanjiang was small, and someone was directly rejected. It was not like Magic City, where there were many martial artists. It did not matter if a few died. In Nanjiang, the death of a rank 3 martial artist would cause quite a stir. On the last day of October, Fong Ping and the others arrived at the courtyard from yesterday. This time, the boss of the place came out early to welcome them. Lu Fengru said straightforwardly, arrange a regular match for him. Peak rank 1 martial artists. This person's strength, 40 bones honed. The muscular man raised his eyebrows slightly. The gap is a little big. There's a risk. If he dies here, he deserves it. All right, wait a moment. I'll arrange it immediately. The muscular man responded and looked at Fong Ping. Regular matches are relatively safe. Usually people won't deliberately kill people. If you can hold back, I hope you can. Everyone doesn't participate in the life and death arena, but in the regular matches because we don't want any real deaths. Fong Ping nodded slightly, but Lu Fengru said, don't listen to his nonsense. It's best if you don't kill him. Don't think about holding back. Otherwise, don't blame others if you die. Fong Ping nodded again, then asked with a smile, Boss, how you calculate the prize money? 50,000 per match. So low. Yes, you can bet on yourself. You've honed 40 bones, and the opponent is a peak rank 1. The odds are at least 1 to 3. I can bet 1 million to? Sure. The boss said it without any pressure. What was 1 million to him? The entrance fee here was more than that per day. For martial artists, 1 million was really nothing. As for where Fong Ping's confidence came from, it was normal for martial arts university students to be confident. However, when it came to the arena, that might not be the case. Half an hour later, Fong Ping and the others arrived at another arena. It was not the same arena as the day before. Before going on stage, Lu Fengru thought for a while and said, you can surrender in the regular matches, but it's useless in the life and death arena, unless the opponent doesn't want to kill you. This is the difference. Do you understand? Yes. I bet 5 million on you. If I lose, you have to pay me back. The corner of Fong Ping's mouth twitched. Why? Zhao Shuame said carefully, I bet 1 million on you too. Fong Ping's face was as black as iron. I only bet 1 million myself. You two are too careless. Winning and losing in the regular matches was more variable. Since it was not a life and death arena, it was normal to surrender here. It was hard to predict who would win or lose. Therefore, betting here was riskier. Now, let's invite the two combatants onto the arena. Peak rank 1 martial artist, black face. The MC shouted in the arena. Soon, a dark-skinned, middle-aged man walked onto the arena. Middle stage rank 1 martial artist, Saber King. Pfft. Zhao Shuame, who was below the arena, choked. She was speechless. Saber King? Lu Fengru smiled. Faintly, you're just being clever. How can a Saber King be called a Saber King if he doesn't use a saber? But it might be useful. Some people are stupid and will actually believe in nicknames. It can't be. It will. So, when you meet an enemy in the future, don't just think about their nicknames. Luo Yichuan is good with a spear, but that doesn't mean he can't use other things. Lion Tang is good at punching and kicking, but that doesn't mean he's weak with weapons. He just specializes in them. If you think that Luo Yichuan is at your mercy without a spear, you won't even know how you died. Learn from him. This kid may be afraid of death, but he's not stupid. When it comes to risking his life, he won't hesitate. He can take advantage of others, but whoever takes advantage of him will be taking his life. Zhao Shuame nodded thoughtfully. In the arena, Fong Ping smiled innocently. Uncle, this is my first time in the arena. Let's just spar. If I lose later, I'll shout that I admit defeat. Uncle, please be merciful. The dark-skinned, middle-aged man frowned and said mildly, We'll see. Uncle, it's just a regular competition. I think. Begin. The referee shouted before he could finish, not giving him a chance to talk nonsense. Fong Ping rambled on. As soon as the word begin left his mouth, he jumped up and kicked at the dark-skinned, middle-aged man. This time, it was not a single kick. Fong Ping's body was in the air, and his left and right legs kicked consecutively. The dark-skinned, middle-aged man raised his hands to block, but his body was still being kicked backward. F***CK. Counterattack. Someone below the arena shouted. No one had expected the dark-skinned, middle-aged man to be in a defensive position the moment the fight began, and he kept being kicked backward by the newbie. One was peak rank 1, and the other was middle stage rank 1. There was a difference in strength between the two. Many people thought that the dark-skinned, middle-aged man would be able to beat the Saber King guy into kneeling and begging, for mercy. However, things did not develop in the direction they had expected. Fong Ping kicked his opponent more than 10 times. The moment his body landed on the ground, Fong Ping did not retreat. Instead, he advanced, shouting, "Watch my leg!" His body clenched his fists, and he swung them toward his opponent's head. The dark-skinned, middle-aged man panted and hurriedly raised his hands to block. Fong Ping's fist smashed down, forcing his opponent to take 2 steps back. After putting some distance between them, he raised his leg and kicked again. The sound of collisions rang out continuously, just as the dark-skinned, middle-aged man was preparing to counterattack. While blocking, Fong Ping suddenly stopped kicking. His right leg straightened. The tip of his foot whipped out in the air, and with a bang, he kicked the dark-skinned, middle-aged man's shoulder. Crack! The dark-skinned, middle-aged man's shoulder caved in suddenly. The dark-skinned, middle-aged man's expression changed again and again. Suddenly, he gritted his teeth and said, "I admit defeat. Thanks for letting me win." Fong Ping quickly retracted his leg and took a few steps back. He chuckled and said, "Uncle, thanks for letting me win." Humph! The middle-aged man snorted softly, holding his right shoulder as he walked down the arena. He did not expect a middle-stage rank 1 martial artist to attack him the moment he stepped onto the arena. He also did not expect his opponent to injure his shoulder so quickly. He had completed honing the bones of his upper limbs. His bones were not so easily injured. If his opponent could injure his bones, it meant that his vitality was not weaker than his. His outburst might even be stronger than his. Otherwise, it would be difficult to break through his defense so easily. Looking at how young he was, he did not have to guess to know that he was most likely from a martial arts university. In the end, the possibility of him losing was also very high. It was not a life-or-death battle. If they continued fighting, even treatment would be a huge expense. Below the arena, many people were swearing. Lu Fengru, on the other hand, frowned and said, "It's useless." Fong Ping was much stronger than his opponent. Whether it was combat techniques, pole standing, or vitality, he was stronger than his opponent. The only thing he could not compare to was the progress of bone honing. When Fong Ping attacked first, his opponent did not even have time to retaliate. In less than a minute, Fong Ping had already won. In a battle like this, Fong Ping was not very useful. It's a pity that this kid is afraid of death. Otherwise, he could try the life-or-death battle. But there's no rush now. He hasn't reached peak rank 1 yet. For now, honing is still his priority. Lu Fengru shook her head slightly. Zhao Xueme said enviously, "Fong Ping is much stronger than me. His vitality is probably 300 calories? I don't know. Maybe." Lu Fengru did not ask Fong Ping, but Fong Ping, who was thrice honed, might have a vitality of 280 calories, even if it was not 300 calories. Fong Ping also thought that the regular competition was easier, but he was still very happy. The key was not winning the competition, but winning money. This time, it was easier and simpler. It was his first time fighting, and the boxing market did not know his strength, so the odds were 1 to 3, which was normal. If there was a next time, the odds would not be like this. Fong Ping had bet 1 million on himself and got 3 million with interest, plus another 50,000 for one battle. In a minute, he had earned 2.05 million. At this moment, Fong Ping's wealth had officially broken through 10 million for the first time. Last night, he had only cultivated as usual and stopped after spending about 50,000 wealth. Previously, his wealth was about 8 million. Now, with the 2 million, it had reached 10 million. After his wealth reached 10 million, Fong Ping realized that the system had been updated. Just like last time, it suddenly turned black, and soon new data appeared. Wealth, 100, 10000 vitality, 267 calories, 289 calories mentality, 241 hertz, 249 hertz bone honing, 40 bones, 90%, 166 bones, 30%. There was an additional bone honing option and progress. Fong Ping's eyes moved slightly. Could it be that he could directly increase the bone honing progress? Otherwise, it was not like he did not know the number of bones he had honed. He tried to increase the bone honing progress in his mind. Soon, the look in Fong Ping's eyes changed. At this moment, the bone honing data changed. Bone honing. 40 bones, 90% progress. 1 bone, 31%. 165 bones, 30%. It's really possible. Fong Ping was ecstatic. Could it be that he could directly complete the bone honing? Soon, Fong Ping's expression changed again. His wealth dropped by 10,000. 1% progress reduced his wealth by 10,000. This meant that if he wanted to hone 1 bone to 90%, he would need 600,000 wealth. At this moment, he still had 22 bones that had not been honed to 90% before he could reach peak rank 1. In other words, he would need at least 2 million wealth. If he cultivated by himself and used vitality to nurture them, he would not need so much. At most, he would need about half of it, which would be about 6 million wealth. Does this mean that I can cheat, but I have to spend more wealth? Fong Ping was speechless. He had spent a lot of time accumulating tens of millions of wealth points. In the end, it was not even enough for him to reach peak rank 1. If that's the case, if I can cultivate by myself, I should try to save wealth points. But if it's really necessary, I can try to increase it directly. After thinking about it, Fong Ping dismissed the idea of increasing it directly, at least not now. His bone honing progress was already fast. If it was any faster, Lu Fengru would really slice him into pieces. Moreover, the consumption was too high, more than double. This is forcing me to earn money, big money. Fong Ping sighed. The system's cheat was cool, but wealth points were hard to earn. He was spending it faster and faster. Also, it might not be without limits. Just like vitality before, when vitality was increased, it was enough to increase it directly. After that, I have to nurture my bones and flesh. It's the same for my bones now. Increasing it directly probably has something to do with my body's endurance. At the very least, my body strength has to keep up. It doesn't take a brain to guess that the system is not so kind as to let me directly increase to peak rank 3 in one night. Fong Ping criticized in his heart for a while. He felt that he was right. Otherwise, if he increased the bones of his 4 limbs and torso to 90%, did it not mean that he would immediately reach peak rank 3? It was more likely that there were other limitations. I won't try it now. I'll think about it after a while. Also, can I increase it to 100%? As he thought about this, Fong Ping had already seen Lu Fengru and the others. Chapter 130. Out of the boxing market, Lu Fengru, who was driving, said directly, "My bet has nothing to do with you. Don't get any ideas about your instructor. His life isn't easy either." Fong Ping laughed dryly. "How could I? I think that's what you mean. I really didn't." Fong Ping hurriedly denied it. He turned to look at Zhao Xuemei and said, "Junior sister, you're in university now. You don't need much money. Do you want me to save it for you?" Zhao Xuemei's expression changed. After a while, she shook her head and said, "No, thank you. Also, can you stop calling me junior sister?" Zhao Xuemei was not used to it. Fong Ping had not been this enthusiastic before. Lu Fengru teased him. "Fong Ping, why don't you pursue Xuemei? If you succeed, won't her money be yours too?" "Teacher." Even though Zhao Xuemei was a tomboy, she still felt awkward. Fong Ping chuckled. "I'm not in the mood for now. When I'm thinking about my other half, I can consider the instructor's suggestion." "Fong Ping." Zhao Xuemei glared at him. Fong Ping smiled and stopped joking. He changed the topic. "Instructor, are we going back to school now?" "Yes, you are still new students. It is enough for you to come out and see the world. There is no need to stay outside for long. It would be better for Fong Ping and the others to study in school. This time, Lu Fengru did her duty as a mentor and brought the two of them out to see the world because the special training class would have more training content. If you want to come here next time, you can come here directly. However, this place is just the beginning of your training. If he really reached the second or third rank, there was no need for him to come here again. Fighting to the death with martial artists for the sake of money is not our ultimate goal. Whether it's in business, politics, or the military, a martial artist's ultimate goal is to become stronger, to go further, and to eliminate the hidden dangers in the catacombs. Fong Ping nodded, indicating that he understood. Lu Fengru stopped nagging and drove toward the school. Fong Ping got out of the car early at the school gates. Outside MCMAU, an old commercial building, Fong Ping strolled into the lobby. Distance Company was on the 6th floor of the building. They had rented half of the floor as an office. Ever since he had rented the house and found Li Qingze, Fong Ping had never visited again. In total, including the $8 million he had invested previously, Fong Ping had invested close to $10 million. Although he felt that Li Qingze wouldn't dare to betray him, he couldn't just ignore him for a long period of time. That would be instigating his subordinates to betray him. After entering the elevator, they soon arrived at the 6th floor. As soon as the elevator came out, there was a Distance Company on the left and a small loan company on the right. The Distance Company side was relatively quiet, while the right side was noisy. There was no front desk at Distance Limited. On the one hand, the company was still small. On the other hand, it was to save money. Distance Ltd did not have too much business for people to handle. Fong Ping strolled to the door. Without knocking, he pushed the door open and entered the office. As soon as he entered the door, an employee noticed him and hurriedly asked, "Hello, who are you looking for?" "Is Manager Li Qingze here?" "In the innermost office." "Thank you." Fong Ping thanked them and walked straight in. No one stopped him. The company's management was relatively lax. Fong Ping furrowed his brows slightly. After some thought, he realized that it was normal. There were not many employees left. The couriers were not here. The employees here were in charge of the website's operations and business development. Fong Ping glanced at them. There were only about 30 of them. Such a small company was established not long ago, so it was understandable that the management was lax. "CEO Zhang, I've already said that the company is not mine. Our boss is someone else. I know that joining the alliance is beneficial to us, but I'm just an employee. I can't make decisions for the boss. Besides, the conditions you've set are too harsh. I'll pass the message on. Don't worry." Knock, knock, knock. "All right, I'll hang up first. I still have some business to take care of. I'll call you back when the boss notifies me. Come in." Li Qingze hung up the phone and responded. When Fong Ping pushed the door open and entered, Li Qingze was a little surprised. He hurriedly stood up and said, "Mr. Fong, why are you here?" "I just came out to take care of something. I passed by." Fong Ping smiled and looked around. Li Qingze's office was not big and very simple. It was much worse than the Magic Marshall Hotel. Without further ado, Fong Ping said, "Someone asked us to join the alliance just now." "Sort of," Li Qingze explained. "Since you transferred $8 million into the account in addition to the expansion of food and beverage delivery, the express delivery points have also expanded a lot. At present, there are 20 express delivery points in the university town. In the university town, if there were about 40 to 50 distribution points, it would be enough to cover the whole area. Currently, there were a few medium-sized express delivery companies that did not have much business in the university town. I hope we can represent their business in the university town." As he spoke, Li Qingze hesitated for a moment before saying, "Mr. Fong, actually, I don't think it's impossible to act as an agent. We can use their reputation to take on business. Of course, this is not the main point. The key is to use their channels. Our current channels are only limited to the university city. There were no distribution points, storage centers, freight stations, or even trucks in the country. In this case, if we don't act as an agent for a courier company's regional business, there's no way we can continue to develop it. We can only wait for our own expansion. Express delivery was different from food and beverage delivery. Express delivery came from all over the country, while food and beverage came from the local area. Therefore, food delivery companies can gradually expand one by one. Express delivery companies can't. Relatively speaking, the establishment of channels for food delivery companies was much simpler. It could also be done separately. However, express delivery companies really could not do it. You did not have a nationwide channel. Unless the locals in the university town sent something to the locals, you would not be able to receive business at all. Intracity logistics was still not feasible now, and it was not very popular. Express delivery companies now almost all had a customer-to-customer model. Fong Ping pondered for a moment before saying, "How about using our Distance's name as an agent for their local business? Distance will first do regional distribution, mainly e-commerce. At the moment, this kind of express delivery accounts for a smaller proportion of their goods. Also, although e-commerce is not big, delivery is troublesome. There are many customers and the profits are not as good as bulk logistics. If we use Distance's name to act as an agent for e-commerce, maybe we can act as an agent for a few more express delivery companies." Li Qingze immediately said, "What you mean is we want to be the regional e-commerce express delivery agent for the university town now." "Yes, is it feasible?" Li Qingze thought for a moment and said hesitantly, "But now, it's not like other express delivery companies don't have agents in the university town. Our prices are more favorable, and our services are more professional. At this time, doing business is mainly about providing services. If the service is bad, no matter how well you do in other areas, it's useless if your reputation is not up. I'm also clear about the current express delivery industry. Most of them are franchisees. These franchisees' distribution points, to put it bluntly, don't care if your company's reputation is good or not. Anyway, if there's something, just deliver it. Don't even think about service. If we join your company's reputation is bad. If we change our brand, I'll join the next company. It'll be the same. Still express delivery. We're different. We want to do our own brand, and we definitely won't be fooling around. This is also our strength. It's also a weakness." Li Qingze reminded him, "The reason why express delivery companies want others to join them is because the joining fee is only a little. They also want to expand their scale and influence. We're using our own brand and we're opening up our own market. I'm sure everyone has considered this point. We'll give it a try. There's not just one express delivery company. I don't believe that every company has to use their brand. If it really doesn't work, we can also pay the agency fee and joining fee, but we won't use their brand. I think there will definitely be people who will agree." Fong Ping said with certainty. Li Qingze nodded and had no choice but to say, "Big companies might not be able to, but there should be some small and medium-sized companies who will agree. But if that's the case, even if we take on the business in the early stages, I'm afraid there won't be much profit. That's not important. Once the brand is established, that's money." As he said that, Fong Ping said, "How's the food and beverage delivery going?" "Not bad, but there are already people who are starting to follow the trend." Li Qingze's expression was slightly ugly as he said, "That's not difficult. The initial cost isn't too high either. Currently, in the eastern part of the university city, there are already schools that have the shadow of other food and beverage platforms. Publicity, promotion, service, professionalism." Fong Ping said these few words and reminded, "We'll do the service first and give people the impression that we're professional. The clothing has to be new and uniform. Don't dress up in a mess. One look and you'll know you're not reliable. Distance's logo has to be obvious and efficient. The commission for writers can be suitably higher than other companies. Also, the platform has to be simple and clear. I've also seen the food and beverage platform online. It's more complicated. All kinds of food and beverages have to be separated and divided into separate areas. Also, convenience will support cash on delivery and online payment. There have to be many payment methods. Try to include all the current payment methods. One more thing. Now, we can prepare for the mobile platform. Mobile. Simply put, it's mobile. Nowadays, the thing that everyone carries with them the most is none other than their mobile phones. Foreign countries have already entered the era of 3G smartphones. Here, it'll be the same soon. Once personal computers are replaced by mobile phones, then mobile services will become the mainstream. We still have time to prepare now. 3G smartphones have just appeared not long ago. We have to be ready to switch at any time. Seamlessly connect to the phone at the first moment and start the business. What I'm saying is not limited to food and beverage, but also express delivery. Do you understand what I mean? Express delivery services nowadays are very troublesome. In the future, when we place an order on the phone, we'll go to the door to pick up the delivery. We'll create our own express delivery client and be ahead of others. After some time, we'll be famous and the market will open up, Fong Ping said, and continued, I don't think we'll be able to earn money so soon. The time before is used for preparation and preparation. When 3G becomes mainstream, we'll be prepared and be ahead of others. When that time comes, we won't have to worry about not earning money. After listening for a while, Li Chengze could not help but ask, Mr. Fong, did you consider all of this yourself? Fong Ping was only a freshman, but he felt like he was more familiar with the business than he was. He also knew some things like the back of his hand and was very forward-looking. Of course, he was also very bold. At this time, 3G had just been launched overseas. The domestic 3G standard had just been passed and had not been officially launched. Fong Ping laughed. I like to read the news and think about it when I'm free. If we develop step by step, we won't be able to keep up. If we want to do well now, we can only find new ways. It'll be great if we succeed, but it's not a pity if we don't. Li Chengze was still very impressed. After a while, he said hesitantly, Mr. Fong, the company now, out of money? That's not it. The 8 million you gave us last time won't be used up so quickly. Li Chengze shook his head and explained, because you haven't shown up, I've been the one in charge. Previously, when we announced that our company was founded by MCMU martial artist students, everyone was a little afraid and didn't do anything else. However, you haven't shown up and we've been expanding continuously. Now, some companies can't sit still. There are many other express delivery companies operating in the university city, including some fast food restaurants near the school. They're causing trouble? It's not really causing trouble. It's just a demonstration and a warning. A warning? Yes. Recently, there have been reports from writers that some schools won't let our people up the stairs. Before, it was fine, and our people were very law-abiding. Now, they're not letting us in. And the schools that are not letting us in have other companies that have opened up business. I'm guessing that they're the ones causing trouble. Fong Ping thought for a moment and said, let's solve it in a civilized way first. It's best if we can talk things through and have a good relationship. If it doesn't work, call me again. When the time comes, I'll see how it goes. Okay. Fong Ping gave a few reminders and did not stay any longer. He quickly left the company. Seeing that his wealth was about to drop below 10 million, Fong Ping sighed. He could not play without money. Should he find other ways to earn money? Even if he could start an express delivery company and earn money, it would not be something that could be done overnight. This was Fong Ping's preparation for the future. At this stage, he still had to rely on other methods. With the worry of earning money, Fong Ping returned to school. When he reached the dormitory building, Fong Ping met many new students downstairs, like the little fatty he met at the start of the semester. Hearing these new students discussing where to play and eat during the weekend, Fong Ping muttered, "I wonder if I can collect protection fees from new students." MCMU's new students were rich. A few 100,000 was peanuts. If he collected 100,000 from one person, it would be 100 million from 1,000 people. Collecting protection fees is also a way, provided that the school doesn't hack me to death. At the same time, Fong Yuan was dumbfounded. Looking at the little girl in front of her, she felt terrible. "Big sis, can you accept me into the club? I'll pay the membership fee." The little girl was younger than Fong Yuan. She was thin and weak, and her face was full of anticipation. "If I join the Yuan Ping Club, I'll be obedient. I'll do whatever Big Sis tells me to do, even if it's a group fight. I can't beat them, but I can give Big Sis a boost." The little girl clenched her fists, her face still slightly flushed. Fong Yuan's face had turned green. After a while, she said with a bitter face, "Little girl, are you misunderstanding something? This isn't a gangster club." Fong Yuan roared in her heart. "This is the prototype of a chamber of commerce. Understand? Do you understand?" Chapter 131. Naturally, Fong Ping did not know about what happened in Sun City. He wanted to collect protection fees, but he dared not. Fong Yuan did not want to collect it. Someone had come to her door and forced her to accept it. Fong Ping was the only one who did not know. Otherwise, he would probably have gone back and pinched that girl to death. November 1st, Saturday. The special training classes had been open for almost a month. Fong Ping finally met Dean Huang Jing. Training room. Huang Jing's expression was calm as he said slowly, "Magic City's military lost dozens of middle-ranked martial artists and more than 100 people in the 3 lower ranks in the catacombs. MCMU also lost 3 instructors. There's still no news of a few students. The catacombs are getting more and more dangerous. We have no choice but to let you know the inside story and the danger in advance. MCMU, CCMU, normal martial arts universities, second-class martial arts universities. What we're fighting for is not personal gain. We want MCMU students to have more resources, to pay a lower price, and to have more powerhouses. This way, we can live longer when we carry out our missions, but we're all human. If we think this way, others will too. Your students, the treasures of your families. Their students are also students, the treasures of their families. No one wants anyone to die. I don't want normal martial arts university students to die either. But if I have to choose, MCMU students or students from other schools are safer. I can only choose MCMU. There's no right or wrong in this matter. If I put myself in their shoes and stood in the perspective of a normal martial arts university, I would also feel indignant and indignant. But no matter what, since we're MCMU's people, we have to think for MCMU. Huang Jing's tone was slightly tired. At this time, no one wanted to argue or fight. But they had to fight. Who wanted to die? No one wanted to die. The stronger they were, the higher their chances of survival. That's why we have to hold the championship at the end of the semester. We have to tell everyone that it will be very cruel. Huang Jing's tone was cold. Cruelty is inevitable. It's not impossible to determine life and death. There are only so many resources. The pills, weapons, and other resources useful for cultivation are limited every year. If you have more, I have less. If you have less, I can have more. We actually didn't want to let the freshmen decide the quota and have them fight to the death. But why did we still decide to let the freshmen participate in the exchange competition? Huang Jing's expression suddenly turned cold as he said, "Because the new students are weak. It's not a pity if they die. Because the investment of new students was small, if they died, not many resources would be wasted. At the same time, because the freshmen will stay in school for a longer period of time, the ones who will benefit in the future will be you. If you don't fight for it, then the 3rd and 4th year students won't fight for it because they already have a certain level of strength and are about to graduate. Only people like you have to stand up and take on the responsibility. The students did not utter a word. Huang Jing's tone softened considerably, and he said with a faint smile, "Of course, the school does not wish for you to throw your lives away. You are all elites, and any death or injury is a loss to humanity. Therefore, there were still necessary protective measures in place for the exchange competition. This could be discussed later. Let's continue talking about the special training class. Because of the above reasons, the special training class has higher requirements for everyone. The stronger the ability, the better. We're martial arts university students, not casual martial artists, not vitality martial artists, and we don't just look at vitality and bone-honing progress. Last month, everyone had been learning the basics. Then this month, we'll take another step forward." Having said that, Huang Jing said in a clear voice, "A peaceful environment cannot create powerhouses. From tomorrow onwards, the 5 instructors will be divided into 5 teams with 10 people in each team. They will bring these students to carry out missions. In order to give you a better environment and better conditions for growth, the school has decided to double the original reward for each mission. Originally, a mission rewarded everyone with 5 credits. Now, it will be 10 credits. During the process of the mission, those who put in more effort will receive more, and the instructors will observe and distribute them. In November, the team that completes the most missions and completes them the best will receive additional rewards. In November, you will see the world for the first time. In December, 10 people will be selected from among the 50 to undergo special training in preparation for the exchange competition. The date of the exchange competition has not been confirmed yet, but it will start in mid-January at the latest, possibly even earlier. There's not much time left for us," Huang Jing said, and finally said in a deep voice, "Don't underestimate the students of normal martial arts universities. From what I know, this time, every school is doing their best to nurture some seeded players. Currently, I know that there are 3 to 5 new rank 1 martial artists in each school. There are many normal martial arts universities. Added together, the number of martial artists they have is no less than that of MCMAU and CCMAU. They have nothing to lose, so they are not afraid of those who are wearing shoes. If they win, they earn. If they lose nothing. Therefore, they can afford to lose, but we can't. I'll stop here. From today onwards, we will divide into teams and determine the instructors to follow. The instructor's own students cannot be in the same team." As soon as he said that, some of the students started whispering to each other. If they were not allowed to follow their own instructors, what if they encountered danger, and the other instructors did not rescue them? Huang Jing did not care about them. This arrangement was to create a sense of crisis for the students, and it was also for fairness. In the process of carrying out missions, the instructors would act as judges. If they brought their own students at this time, some favoritism might appear. When Huang Jing arrived, he only said a few words and then left in a hurry. The catacombs matter was not over yet. Moreover, he still had to discuss the specific arrangements for the exchange competition with the major schools. There was no need for grandmasters to be involved in wrangling, but for the sake of benefits, it would not do without grandmasters. Silence. As soon as Huang Jing left, Tang Feng roared, interrupting the students' discussion. "Now, divide into teams." Martial artists were very straightforward. Tang Feng did not waste any time and said directly, "Fang Ping, Zhao Lei, Fu Changding, Yang Xiaoman, Chen Yunxi, you will be the team leaders. Each of you will lead a team." As soon as he said that, Fu Changding said bitterly, "I wanted to be in the same team as the beauties. Is this appropriate?" Tang Feng did not scold him. He smiled and said, "Sure. Zhang Yu, Xiao and you, both of you will be in Fu Changding's team." Among the crowd, the 2 beauties who entered through the back door last time walked out shyly and went to Fu Changding's side. Fu Changding's face turned green. I was just saying it, and the instructor took it seriously. He was not stupid. At this time, when dividing into teams, of course, the stronger the teammates, the better. Now that he had 2 dead weights, it would be troublesome. This was not a joke. Fu Changding was not an ignorant rookie. Doing missions could really kill people. However, since Tang Feng had said so, there was no room for negotiation. Peak rank 6 Tang Feng was not joking about this. Fu Changding's expression was a little stiff. He smiled dryly at the 2 girls, his smile a little bitter. Tang Feng ignored him, and Fu Changding's instructor, Luo Yichuan, did not look at this student either. Did he really think that no one could teach him a lesson? Fong Ping was gloating. He said in a low voice, "Are you satisfied now? These 2 beauties are so pleasing to the eye. Get lost. Fong Ping, you're the strongest and you're the class monitor. Capable people should do more work." Tang Feng continued, "Zhao Qing Wu Kuping, Zhou Yueheng, they'll be in your team?" Instructor. Fong Ping's old face fell. "Are you sure you're not using your position to avenge a personal grudge?" Everyone knew that the stronger the members of the team, the easier it would be to carry out the mission, and the faster it would be completed, the better. Bringing some weak martial artists with him was just asking for trouble, was it not? In his team, other than Fong Ping, who was quite strong, Zhao Shuamei was also in his team. Tang Jingsong was also there. Both of them were quite strong. However, the other 7 were at the bottom of the special training class. Tang Feng said mildly, "Do you have something to say? If you have something to say, you can say it. However, in order to balance out the strengths, the team arrangement has been fixed." Fong Ping almost vomited blood. "Since it's fixed, what other opinions do I have?" Seeing that he was silent, Tang Feng continued to assign the members of the team. Tang Feng's consideration was to balance out the strengths of the team. Currently, there were about 30 people in the class who had honed more than 31 bones. On average, there were about 3 in each team. The rest were distributed evenly. 31 bones meant that one side of the bone had been honed. According to the general ranking system, a martial artist like this would be considered a middle stage rank 1 martial artist. Those with less than 31 bones were early stage martial artists. Of course, some people honed their upper limbs. The number of bones was different, and they were divided according to whether one side of the bone was honed. Among Fong Ping's group of 5, other than Fong Ping, who had honed 40 bones, Zhao Lei, who had the highest number of bones, had 49. Fu Changding and the others were about the same, all above 45. After assigning the teams, it was time to assign the instructors. Lu Fengru obviously could not lead Fong Ping and the others. In the end, the instructor leading Fong Ping's team was Zhou Shiping, the oldest among the instructors. Zhou Shiping was a man of few words because he cultivated palm techniques. In martial arts universities, there were not many people who studied it, and he did not have many students. Zhou Shiping looked about 50 years old, but he was actually close to 60 years old. He looked thin and weak. After assigning the instructors, Zhou Shiping glanced at Fong Ping and the others. He nodded slightly and said nothing. Lu Fengru led Chen Yunxi's team, while Tang Feng led Fu Changding. Fu Changding's face was pale. He had a bad feeling about this. Luo Yichuan and Su Jianzhou each led Tang Feng's 2 students. After assigning the teams and instructors, Tang Feng continued, "Everyone, go back and pack your bags today. Mainly bring weapons and pills, mainly vitality pills and healing water. Those who don't have healing water can exchange for some. It's 5 credits a bottle, and it's very effective for external and internal injuries. Also, the school will reimburse all expenses for this trip, including a bottle of healing water, 5 normal vitality pills, and 1 rank 1 vitality pill. That's a lot." Many of them looked delighted. The special training class treated their students really well. Last month, everyone had received about 20 normal vitality pills. Fong Ping and the others had received slightly more. Fong Ping had received 25 pills, but he had not used them yet. Based on 20 pills, that would be 60 credits. This trip alone had cost them 30 credits of pills. In less than a month after joining the special training class, everyone had received close to 100 credits. If they were to exchange it for money, it would be 3 million. Moreover, it was mentioned before that the mission rewards belonged to the team members themselves. The school would even double the reward. This special treatment made everyone beam with joy. Tang Feng said lightly, "This is the school's contribution." Naturally, there's a demand for it. Everyone understands what I mean. In the eyes of martial artists, everyone must have a clear concept of equal exchange. The more you give, the more you reap. Even if some of you can't participate in the championship, you'll still pay the price. For example, if someone dies during the mission, I'm not joking. The instructors will lead the team and try their best to ensure your safety. However, the instructors are also human. They will be negligent and have things to do. They will also eat and drink. You can't expect the instructors to protect you 24/7. Therefore, injuries and deaths are sometimes unavoidable. Everything the school is doing now, you may not seem to need to contribute anything, but in reality, you're already contributing. You have to understand what I mean. All right, that's all for now. Instructors and students, make your own arrangements. We'll be leaving tomorrow. Whether it's for the mission or sightseeing, you're not allowed to stay in school. Someone said in surprise, "Sightseeing." Luo Yichuan, who had been silent all this while, said calmly, "The scenery in the catacombs is beautiful. You can treat it as a sightseeing trip." Everyone fell silent. What a joke. A large number of rank 3s would die there. They did not want to go sightseeing. Luo Yichuan was leading Zhao Lei's team. Zhao Lei's face turned purple. Old Luo would not really bring them to sightseeing, would he? The 5 teams split up and began to contact the instructors. On Fong Ping's side, Zhou Shiping was a man of few words and was very democratic. When everyone had arrived, Zhou Shiping chuckled. "Fong Ping, you can accept the mission. You should have seen the mission system. You can discuss with everyone and choose the mission. I'm mainly responsible for protecting everyone. You can make your own arrangements for the rest." Fong Ping saw everyone looking at him. He thought for a while and said, "At the beginning, we'll accept some simple missions to practice. Fong Ping, we're not weak, and there are so many of us. I think we can accept a rank 2 mission. We don't have much time. If we waste too much time, a month will pass in the blink of an eye." Someone in the team raised a different opinion. Those who would raise an opinion at this time would not be too weak. The one who raised the opinion was Tang Jingsong, Fu Changding's high school classmate who had been beaten up by Fu Changding for a few years. Fong Ping frowned. "Among the 10 of us, has anyone accepted a mission before? Has anyone fought with a rank 2 martial artist before? I mean the kind where it's life and death. Many of you have never fought with a martial artist before. Where do you get the confidence to take on a rank 2 mission? Cut the crap. I'll speak. Just listen." "You." Tang Jingsong's face turned red. Fong Ping threatened, "If you're not convinced, we can fight one-on-one. We'll listen to whoever wins." Tang Jingsong shriveled instantly. He snorted and said nothing more. "That's more like it. I'm the team leader. If instructor Zhou doesn't say anything, everyone has to listen to me from now on. I don't want to talk to you about democracy or the minority obeying the majority. For the next month, you have to listen to me. If you don't want to, I won't force you. Now get out of here and accept missions. Just don't drag me down." After saying that, Fong Ping said, "The first mission doesn't have to be too far or too strong. I've taken a look at the mission system. There's a mission to capture a middle stage rank 1 martial artist in the Department of Investigation Services. There are very few cases involving early stage rank 1 martial artists in the Department of Investigation Services. Middle stage rank 1 martial artists usually get a reward of 100,000 cash. Upper stage and peak rank 1 martial artists usually get a reward of 200,000 cash. For rank 2, the reward starts at 300,000 or 10 credits. Let's use a middle stage rank 1 to practice first. Tang Jingsong was a little unhappy. Zhao Shuamei frowned as well. Fong Ping, middle stage rank 1. That means you've just finished honing one limb. On our side, the three of us have already honed 40 bones. Do you think we should practice first? Check out the market. Why are you in such a hurry? Fong Ping was helpless. They were a bunch of rookies, including himself. They did not know anything. What was the hurry? Zhou Shiping suddenly said, "From now on, your mission will be settled by credits. The cash reward will be calculated according to 30,000 credits per credit. At the end of the month, we'll settle all the missions. The team with the highest number of credits will get a reward of at least 100 credits. Fong Ping, did you hear that? Shut up." Fong Ping interrupted Tang Jingsong, frowning. "I have the final say. We'll use a middle stage rank 1 martial artist to practice first. You don't even know how to do missions. Are you going to kill a rank 2 martial artist when you've just arrived? If you talk too much, you can leave." Tang Jingsong looked indignant. He suppressed his anger and did not look at Fong Ping. Fong Ping ignored him. These people thought highly of themselves. They were all young and full of vigor. They might get into trouble this time. His side was easy to deal with. At least he was afraid of death. Safety was his priority. However, it was hard to say for the other teams. This time, there might be people who lost their lives. Fong Ping even suspected that the school would let the instructors watch the students die on purpose. That was because it could stimulate the students and let them experience the feeling of death. Every day, they would say that they might be in danger and that they might die. Who would care? However, if they saw the people around them die, these students would mature instantly. Fong Ping had thought of this before. Using the lives of a few people in exchange for the awakening of the entire new elite class was a worthwhile trade. Martial arts universities were just that realistic. Fong Ping did not say anything else. He used the computer in the training room to log into the mission system and chose a mission that he felt was suitable. As soon as he accepted the mission, Fong Ping received the detailed information. Name: Lin Jun. Gender: male. Age: 34 years old. Strength: middle stage rank 1. Hone 31 to 35 bones. No hot weapons. Possible cold weapons. Cultivation of basic fist and leg combat techniques. No special combat techniques. Case: August 30th, 2008. Escaped after causing death in a fight. The victim was an early-stage rank 1 martial artist. Case handed over to Magic City's Northern Stability District Department of Investigation Services. Mission takers can contact the Northern Stability District Department of Investigation Services for more information. Reward: 120,000 in cash. The mission introduction was more detailed. There were also many photos. After accepting the mission, Fong Ping said, "Tomorrow we'll go to the Northern Stability District Department of Investigation Services to take a look." Tang Jingsong was about to question him when Fong Ping said mildly, "Let's talk to the Department of Investigation Services first and see what's going on. Then we'll ask for the other party's general location. Of course, if you know where he is tonight, we'll go and arrest him tomorrow." Chapter 132. The next day, early in the morning, at the school gate, Fong Ping carried his handbag and waited at the gate. Soon, someone arrived. Zhou Shiping arrived quickly in a domestic car. He stuck his head out and greeted Student Fong Ping. "Good morning, teacher." You didn't drive?" Zhou Shiping's question left Fong Ping at a loss. Very quickly, Fong Ping understood the meaning of the words. Zhao Shuamei had arrived in a small car. Tang Songting had arrived in a flashy convertible sports car. As for the other 7 students, 3 of them had driven, and 4 of them had walked. There were 11 of them in total, and 6 of them had driven. Fong Ping felt the urge to vomit blood. Was it necessary? Perhaps because Zhou Shiping was out, he was a little more talkative, and he was a lot friendlier. He smiled and said, "It's more suitable to drive when carrying out a mission. Sometimes it'll be very troublesome if the suspect drives instead of driving." Fong Ping wanted to say that he would not drive if he saw Wang Jinyang and Qin Fengqing. He thought about it. He had not interacted with them for long. Who knew if they had a car? Besides, they had probably been to the catacombs a lot, so they did not need to drive. Still, it seemed necessary to buy a car. Fong Ping muttered in his heart, but he did not show it on his face. He made arrangements immediately. "Everyone, find a car. I'll take Zhao Xuemei's car to the Northern Stability District Department of Investigation Services. Don't disperse." Okay, everyone agreed and got into their cars. The Northern Stability District was north of Magic City. The university town was in the south, adjacent to the Southern Contribution District. The journey from MCMAU to the Northern Stability District was not short. In the car, Zhao Xuemei said excitedly, "I can finally take on a mission. Before I came to university, I knew that martial arts universities had missions that I could take on." Is there a need to be excited? Of course. What do you know? A martial arts university mission means that you can enforce the law openly and you get paid. This is different from being competitive. If you kill someone, it's against the law. Just like this time, if Lin Jun was in a martial arts university and asked for a normal duel and killed someone, he wouldn't be wanted. Or if you accepted the other party's mission and killed the other party, you'd get a reward. Martial artists with high vitality can sometimes be very impulsive. This kind of impulsiveness has to be vented, or else they will feel uncomfortable. Fong Ping was speechless. After a while, he said, "Take it easy. If you die, you'll lose everything." "I know. He's just a middle-stage rank 1 martial artist." Fong Ping said nothing. "You're talking as if you're not." The division of rank 1 martial artists was relatively simple. Those who had honed 1 limb were middle stage. Sometimes the distinction between upper stage and peak was not so detailed. After tempering 2 limbs, one would be at the peak. As for the advanced stage, having more than 50 bones was considered the advanced stage. However, because the bones in the upper and lower limbs were different, the division was not too strict. No one wanted to make a strict division. They were all weaklings, so there was no need to make such a detailed division. After more than 50 minutes, Northern Stability District Department of Investigation Services. Although the Northern Stability District was a district, there were only 6 districts in Shanghai. Each district's population and economic strength were stronger than most prefecture-level cities. The Beiding branch of the Department of Investigation Services was magnificent. It was a modular building with more than 20 floors. Fong Ping and the others got out of the car one after another and registered their martial arts licenses at the entrance. 5 to 6 minutes later, someone came to receive them. "Are you students from a martial arts university?" The person who came to receive them was a man in his 30s. He had a masculine face and was dressed in plain clothes. Zhou Shiping did not even get out of the car. As the team leader, Fong Ping took the initiative and said, "We're students from Magic City Martial Arts University. We've accepted a mission from Northern Stability. We're here to ask if there's anything we should take note of." "Is this your first time accepting a mission?" "Yes, I'm Fong Ping. I'm the team leader for this mission." "Big brother, what's your name?" "Just call me Big Brother Zheng. Follow me." The man did not say much and led them into the Department of Investigation Services. They did not enter the main building. The man brought them to a large office in the annex. "What's the mission you accepted? What's the serial number?" 200808301 "His name is Lin Jun." The man turned on the computer and checked. "Soon," he said, "a middle stage rank 1 martial artist. He's not very strong." The reason why we handed the mission to a martial arts university is because this guy wasted a lot of our time. Although he's not strong, he's very cunning and has a strong sense of anti-reconnaissance. He also knows people from the Department of Investigation Services very well. As soon as we get close, he'll notice us and move quickly. Right now, he should be around Northern Stability and Northern Suburbs. He's still in Northern Stability? The man with the surname, Zheng, nodded. Yes, someone met him before. That's why I said he's cunning. At the same time, he's very brave. Everyone knows that it's dark under the light. He showed up somewhere else and snuck back to Northern Stability. If we hadn't met him, we would have thought that he ran away. However, Northern Stability and Northern Suburbs aren't small. They have a large population. Big Brother Zheng, do you have a specific location? The man with the surname Zheng did not say much. He took out a map and pointed at the border between Northern Stability and Northern Suburbs. Someone met Lin Jun here. However, I'm not sure if he's still here. Maybe he ran away. Maybe he's still here. However, Lin Jun has a habit. He likes to gamble. The last time he killed someone, it was also because he gambled with someone. Right now, he might not be able to hold on. There are a few underground casinos near Northern Stability and Northern Suburbs. Underground casinos? That's the police's business. It has nothing to do with us. The man with the surname Zheng knew what he meant. He said casually, do as you see fit. If you want to snatch it, go ahead. However, if underground casinos can be opened, they must have made preparations to target martial artists. You might not be strong enough, so try not to stir up trouble. Before they let martial artists destroy social order, we won't do anything to them. However, if they get swept up by you, then they deserve it. Just let the police clean up the mess. Remember, you're not allowed to hurt normal people unless they attack you first, and there must be evidence. As for the rest, you'll slowly understand in the future. The man explained the situation. Finally, he gave Fong Ping and the others a new identification. The Department of Investigation Services Assisting Investigation Permit. Before they left, the man with the surname Zheng said, once the mission is completed, you can come to the Department of Investigation Services to settle the score. You can also settle the score at your martial arts university. The Martial Arts Assembly will regularly check on the completion of the mission with us. I'll remind you one last time, don't involve normal people. It's best if you don't arrest them in public when there are a lot of people. It'll cause a negative impact. The existence of martial artists is to calm people's hearts, not to act recklessly and destroy social order. When that time comes and the impact is bad, you'll have your credits deducted at the very least, and you'll have to bear legal responsibility at the very worst. I don't want you to become one of the members of the mission one day. Fong Ping nodded quickly. That won't happen. We'll definitely pay attention to the impact. Yes, and be careful. The man with the surname Zheng reminded. Don't underestimate anyone. Even if they're normal people, martial artists, especially those in the lower 3 ranks, aren't invincible. They don't have indestructible bodies either. You're all MCMU geniuses. If you die here, it'll be a loss for humanity. Thank you. Fong Ping thanked him and left with the others. Outside the Department of Investigation Services, Fong Ping looked at the others and thought for a while before making arrangements. It's unlikely that Lin Jun will come out during the day. Find a place to stay first. At night, form teams of 2 and go to the underground casinos to look for him. Once you've found him, don't act rashly. Fong Ping paused and looked at Tang Songting. Listen to what I've said. If anyone thinks they can take him down and take credit, then I don't mind. If he dies, don't blame me for not warning you. If you're not confident, then inform the others and act together. What if we can't find him? If we can't find him, the limit is 3 days. Give up immediately. If the mission fails, we'll only lose 10% of the reward. It's nothing. This time, no one had any objections. they drove to a hotel in the northern suburbs and booked a few rooms. While Fong Ping and the others were on the move, the other 4 teams were on the move as well. Magic City Martial Arts University. Huang Jing asked with a smile as he processed some documents. How's the situation? Chen Yunxi isn't suitable to be the captain. She doesn't have her own opinions. We'll see about the others. Fu Changding isn't bad. He's on good terms with his teammates and listened to everyone's opinions when he accepted the mission. Zhao Lei is still a little arrogant and independent. He accepted an early-stage rank 2 mission. It's a little troublesome. Yang Xiaoman is okay. Not bad. Fong Ping. Zhou Shiping was the one who reported Fong Ping's situation. Zhou Shiping paused for a while before smiling. The kid is reliable. He's a suitable captain candidate, but a little too reliable. We'll see about the others. Being steady is better than being aggressive. Through the earpiece, Tang Feng said, I know this kid. He's quick to take advantage of others and quick to run when he's at a disadvantage. His personality is okay, but I don't really like it. I think Fu Changding would be more suitable to lead the team during the championship. Fu Changding lacks some strength. He might not be able to suppress Zhao Lei. Everyone discussed for a while. Huang Jing laughed. Old Zhou, isn't that kid stable? Create some trouble for him and accept a rank 2 mission next time. Rank 2? Yes, change the mission. According to my calculations, he'll only accept a peak rank 1 mission next time. Try accepting an early stage rank 2 martial artist for him. See how he reacts to unexpected situations and how he handles it. See if he can bring his team members back safely. As for the other teams, we'll see how they go. Zhao Lei is a little too aggressive. He just arrived, and he's already a rank 2. Does he really think that all rank 2 martial artists in the outside world are vitality martial artists? Northern Suburbs Hotel. Fong Ping sneezed and mumbled, Someone's trying to hurt me. Shaking his head, Fong Ping continued honing. MCMU was becoming more and more cruel to them. He had to improve his strength as soon as possible. At night, everyone split into 5 teams of 2 and went to the various underground casinos. Of course, although they were called underground casinos, they were actually just grassroots teams. At 10 p.m., one of the teams found Lin Jun's tracks. The 2 people who found Lin Jun did not act rashly. Instead, they informed everyone else. When Fong Ping rushed over, Lin Jun had already been taken down by Tang Jingsong. Seeing Fong Ping, Tang Songting curled his lips. He's as weak as a piece of trash. He wasted so much time and only got 120,000. 4 credits, 0. 4 credits per person. I told you we should accept stronger missions. The mission was surprisingly smooth. Although Lin Jun was also a middle-stage rank 1 martial artist, he was defeated after a short fight with Tang Songting. It did not cause too much of a commotion. Tang Songting was unhappy that Fong Ping had wasted an entire day. He felt that he should have come directly in the morning because Lin Jun had been at the casino for the past few days. Zhao Xueme said, Fong Ping went to the Department of Investigation Services to clarify the situation. Otherwise, it would not have been so easy to capture the other party. Then, after asking, we should act immediately. It's better at night. Besides, it won't take long. That's easy for you to say. Time is tight. Enough! Fong Ping barked coldly and interrupted. If you're not satisfied, you can leave now. Whoever else wants to leave, leave with Tang Songting. You guys do your missions. I can apply to the school to arrange for instructors to form another team for you. Why should I leave? Tang Songting's face was full of dissatisfaction. Fong Ping glanced at him and said nothing. After a while, he said faintly, If you go against me again, I promise I'll find an opportunity to screw you over. If you don't believe me, you can try. Do you think I can do it? Tang Songting's expression changed again. He did not know, but he did not dare to take the risk. He already knew that Fong Ping had killed 2 peak rank 1 martial artists before. Otherwise, he would not have been so afraid to oppose Fong Ping. Fong Ping ignored him. He glanced at the half-dead Lin Jun and turned to leave, muttering, "This doesn't look good." The first mission was too easy. It was so easy that everyone was bursting with confidence and thought they could do anything. He had even planned to use the first mission to dampen everyone's enthusiasm. Fong Ping had already made his preparations. He would grind them out for 3 days to hone everyone's temperament. Who knew that the useless Lin Jun would be found in one night? Zhou Shiping was probably the only one who could understand Fong Ping's thoughts. He found it funny and thought to himself, "This time, I should be able to see something." When everyone was at their most confident, they received a rank 2 martial artist mission. He wanted to see how Fong Ping would deal with such a crisis. Escape, fight to the death, ask for help, or something else like betraying his teammates. Based on what Fong Ping had said to Tang Songting earlier, betraying Tang Songting did not seem like an exaggeration at all. Would this happen? Martial arts universities did not only look at the student's abilities. Sometimes whether or not to focus on training a student depended on many factors. As he thought about this, Zhou Shiping said calmly, "Tang Songting alone will get 25% of the reward. Zhao Qing and Zhou Yuehong will get 25%. The other 7 will get 50%. After calculating, Fong Ping and the others had worked hard for a whole day, but each of them did not even get 10,000 yuan. They did not even get half a credit. Even if the school doubled the reward, they would not get a single credit. Fong Ping did not say anything. Tang Songting looked pleased with himself. When they returned to the hotel, everyone discussed the second mission. This time, everyone requested to accept a peak rank 1 martial artist mission. Fong Ping thought about it and did not refuse. He accepted a mission from the military department. The mission was simple. They just had to know the other party's location and kill them. It was not difficult for 10 students to kill a peak rank 1 martial artist together. Chapter 133. After accepting the second mission, they did not go to the military department to inquire about the situation. Firstly, the military department was stationed far away. The office was half a day's journey away. Secondly, the mission content was very detailed. Name: Shifeng. Gender: male. Age: 39 years old. Strength: peak rank 1, cultivation of combat techniques, proficient in punches and kicks. Basic weaponry: carries an E-class short sword. Danger level: high. Suggestion: peak rank 1 martial artists in a team of 3 or more, or rank 2 martial artists. Case: October 26, 2008, killed a peak rank 1 martial artist, currently hiding in Magic City's eastern suburbs, Crystal Rocks Village. Reward: 15 credits. Note: strong ability, additional 5 credits. Reward: after accepting the mission, Fong Ping realized that he had an additional 5 credits reward. Normally, a peak rank 1 martial artist like this would be rewarded between 7 to 10 credits. When they first did not accept the mission and saw the 10 credits reward, everyone was already clamoring to accept it. Fong Ping did not reject them. However, when he accepted the mission, he realized that the reward had increased to 15 credits. Some martial artists who had just entered rank 2 would only be rewarded between 10 to 15 credits. This Shifeng actually had a reward of 15 credits. After accepting the mission, Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He reminded them, normally, a peak rank 1 martial artist would not be rewarded more than 300,000 cash or 10 credits. However, this Shifeng is rewarded with 15 credits. I'm afraid his ability is higher than expected. Everyone, be careful this time. Also, he has an E-class alloy weapon. He's not one of those poor vitality martial artists who can't even cultivate combat techniques. He can kill a peak rank 1 martial artist of the same rank. This mission gave many hints. Whether it was the suggestion to form a team of 3 peak rank 1 martial artists or the reward of credits later, it all meant that this Shifeng was not weak. At the very least, he was stronger than most peak rank 1 martial artists of the same rank. In Fang Ping's team, He Xiaoshuime and Tang Songting all had alloy weapons. They were not weak either, but they were not peak rank 1 martial artists. As for the other 7, the least of them had only honed about 20 bones. Zhao Shuame nodded. Tang Songting said proudly, "Peak rank 1 martial artists in MCMU are different from those in the outside world. Even if we haven't achieved twice honing and achieved a breakthrough, our vitality has far exceeded 150 calories. When I broke through as a martial artist, my vitality had already reached 170 calories. Now my vitality is close to 240 calories, disregarding the number of bones honed. I would not lose to a peak rank 1 martial artist just by looking at vitality alone." In addition, our combat techniques and pole standing cultivation went hand in hand, and we received guidance from middle-ranked instructors. "Fang Ping, you're underestimating MCMU students. At the same rank, martial arts university students will not lose to anyone, even the powerhouses from the military department. That's because they have more combat experience than us. Rank 1 and rank 2 martial artists from the outside world are not qualified to enter the catacombs. I think you're being too cautious." Although Tang Songting's words were annoying, he was not wrong. The students of the special training classes, even if they were not twice-honed martial artists, had a vitality higher than 150 calories when they broke through. When they reached rank 1, their vitality would be higher than casual martial artists of the same level. Moreover, MCMU students' development was more balanced. They would not have obvious shortcomings. This was also different from social martial artists. Some social martial artists might have cultivated combat techniques, but they might have just started pole standing. There were a total of 10 people this time. Fang Ping himself had killed a peak rank 1 martial artist from MCMU before, so Tang Songting did not think it would be too dangerous for them to team up. The others probably had the same thought. MCMU students were a little arrogant to begin with. Top students from Tsinghua University would not think that they were inferior to those self-taught people from the outside world. Fang Ping took a deep breath. After a while, he said, "Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm worrying too much and thinking too much. But it's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want your good life to end right after it's just started, do you? Act according to the situation. If you really encounter danger, the first thing you should do is to retreat. I know, we're not seeking death. If we really can't beat them, we'll just run." Tang Songting did not really want to die. If they really encountered an opponent they could not beat, of course, they would run. Fang Ping did not need to remind him of this. Fang Ping saw this and did not say anything else. He began to pack his things. He had been wearing alloy combat boots. D-class brass knuckles were also worn by Fang Ping. He kept the only rank 2 vitality pill among the healing water that was distributed to him. Although he was not worried about vitality consumption, the rank 2 vitality pill could release a stronger vitality in a short period of time. Fang Ping's vitality had reached 290 calories. This kind of vitality was comparable to the average beginner rank 2 martial artist, maybe even higher. As long as they did not panic and did not make any mistakes, it was not impossible for them to fight a rank 2 martial artist. What was scary was that a bunch of rookies would panic when they encountered an enemy. If that happened, they would be defeated one by one. That would be troublesome. At 10 a.m. on the 3rd, everyone arrived at Clear Rocks Village in the eastern suburbs. Although Clear Rocks Village was also a village in the eastern suburbs, it was different from the villages in the countryside. In Magic City, even the suburbs were more prosperous. There were goose houses, restaurants, and factories in Clear Rocks Village. It was more developed than most small towns. The village was close to the harbor. Shifeng was hiding here. According to speculation, he was preparing to escape by sea. The military department had thrown the task to martial arts universities. Perhaps it was because the catacombs had been more troublesome recently, and they did not have enough manpower, so they did not personally come to handle it. Fong Ping suspected that the peak rank 1 martial artist that Shifeng killed might be related to the military department. Otherwise, this task would usually be assigned to the Department of Investigation Services. If it was as he guessed, Shifeng would not be weak. The martial artists of the military department were not weaklings. When he arrived at Clear Rocks Village, Fong Ping contacted the military department. The person who communicated with Fong Ping and the others did not say much. He only said a few simple sentences, gave a detailed address, and reminded them to be careful before hanging up. Fong Ping hung up. After some thought, he asked Zhou Shiping beside him, "Teacher, if we even know the detailed address, the military department should be able to pick out a rank 2 or 3 martial artist, right? Are these tasks meant for rookies to gain experience?" Other than not interfering with the tasks, Zhou Shiping answered everything he knew. He smiled and said, "That's part of it, but experience is only one thing. There's another thing, a warning." "Warning?" "Yes," Zhou Shiping said in a low voice. "Because martial artists have superior strength, their mentality may change. They think that they are omnipotent, that they belong to the privileged class, and that killing a few people is nothing. Rookies, especially, are more likely to have such thoughts. These tasks are given to rookies to let you know that even martial artists have to bear the corresponding responsibility if they make a mistake. If you act recklessly, one day you'll be one of the members who carry out the task." Fong Ping nodded slightly, answering one of his doubts. Of course, it was also related to the lack of manpower. Right now, all the entrances to the catacombs were not peaceful. The martial arts university students had nothing better to do, and this could save them a lot of time. With the detailed address, there was no need to search everywhere. Fong Ping looked at Zhao Xuemei and the others and said, "It's better to act at night. There are more people here during the day, and it'll easily cause a negative impact. Go down, Zhao Xuemei, and I will go check out the situation." Someone in the team thought for a while before saying, "Won't it be a little unsafe at night? If the other party escapes, we don't have night vision. Now that we know the detailed address, we don't have to try our luck like we did with Lin June yesterday. During the day, many people have jobs and won't be at home. I think it might be better to act during the day. There won't be many people at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and it's hard to say if he'll still be at home at night. It's more likely that he'll be hiding at home during the day because he's wanted." Fong Ping glanced at him. This person was called Zhao Qing. His strength was not bad, and he was the first to discover Lin Jun. He was also calm and did not act rashly. Putting forward such an opinion now was different from Tang Songting going against him. After thinking for a while, Fong Ping nodded slightly and said, "What you said makes sense. How about this? We'll act together in the afternoon. Since we're acting during the day, if we go too often, we'll attract attention and let the other party escape. We might as well act when we find him." After the discussion, everyone did not hesitate anymore. They found a hotel and settled down. 2:30 p.m. Fong Ping and the others left the hotel and went straight to the east side of the village. It was closer to the harbor, and Shifeng had rented a house there. In Magic City, it was not uncommon to see people renting houses in suburban villages like Clear Rocks Village. Many of them were migrant workers who came from other places for cheap money and did not care about the environment. It was easy to rent a house here. One just had to pay a deposit. It did not matter if the contract was signed or not, as long as the rent was paid normally. The east side of the village was different from the front of the village. The environment was much worse. The front of the village was the facade, and the residential houses were all buildings. Many of the houses here were small detached houses. The houses were old and small. At this moment, Zhou Shiping was nowhere to be seen. Zhou Shiping would not follow them all the time during missions. He might observe in the dark or go to the toilet. Fong Ping's thoughts ran wild as he walked. After looking at the house numbers for a while, Fong Ping said in a low voice, "It's the one in front." Everyone looked at the old house in front. Sure, Fong probably did not want to interact with people, so the place he lived was a distance away from the other houses. Zhou Yuehong, Wu Kepeng, Zhang Hao, you guys stand guard outside. Don't let passers-by come in. Tang Songting, go knock on the door and see if he's there. Me. Tang Songting's face turned green. He was confident, but what if he was attacked if he knocked on the door alone? Fong Ping said mildly, "You're stronger. You won't die so soon. Besides, the other party might not dare to open the door. Since he's here and the mission has been accepted, there's no other choice but to swarm him and take him down. We'll just stand guard. Don't worry, as long as he's there, we'll come out immediately. But are you going or not?" Tang Songting gritted his teeth and said hatefully, "I'll go. We'll distribute according to contribution anyway. I just want to know if he's there." "Go." Fong Ping ignored him. After making the arrangements, he approached the house with Zhao Xuemei and the others and squatted on both sides. Some of the others went to patrol the perimeter to prevent passers-by from coming over. In reality, there were not many people loitering around at this time. Tang Songting took a deep breath and stepped forward. He gathered his thoughts and stood a distance away from the door. He stretched out his hand and started knocking. Knock, knock, knock. Is anyone home? The house was very quiet. Tang Songting knocked twice, but no one answered. Tang Songting turned his head and glanced at Fong Ping. Fong Ping motioned for him to continue. Tang Songting had no choice but to continue knocking. "Open the door. Stop pretending. Your family threw their trash in front of our house. Stop pretending. It's definitely your family's doing." As soon as he said that, there was some movement in the house. After a while, someone replied, "I didn't throw any trash here." Tang Songting's expression changed slightly. He looked at Fong Ping again. Fong Ping motioned for him to continue knocking. Although this was a village residence, the door was iron and not wooden. Kicking the door would make too much noise. "Open the door first. Who knows if it was your family who threw it? You just moved here recently." It wasn't like this before. There was some movement inside the door, but it was very faint. Fong Ping leaned against the wall and listened for a while. Suddenly, his expression changed. He growled, "Retreat." Tang Songting's reaction was not slow. He hurriedly retreated. Just as he retreated, a hole suddenly appeared in the iron door. A sharp blade stabbed through the door. Immediately after, the iron door opened a gap. A silhouette dashed out at lightning speed. Without stopping, it ran directly toward the shore, not far away. Obviously, the other party had no intention of fighting. At this time, Fong Ping also dashed out and kicked at the running silhouette. The other party did not bother him. He paused for a moment, avoided Fong Ping's kick, and continued running. Tang Songting, who was behind him, had a lingering fear. At this time, he also reacted and chased from behind Zhao Xuemei, and the other two also came out of their hiding places and began to surround Shifeng. "Shifeng, you can't run." Behind him, Tang Songting shouted. He raised his alloy saber and slashed at Shifeng's back. Shifeng had just been blocked by Fong Ping. At this time, he was not far from Tang Songting. Feeling the movement behind him, Shifeng dodged again. Still not bothering him, he continued to run forward. From the side, Fong Ping swept his leg again. On the other side, Zhao Xuemei had also brought her own weapon, a long staff forged from alloy. The long staff was aimed at Shifeng's chest. There were obstructions in front and behind him. Shifeng had no choice but to stop and dodge to the side. After avoiding their attacks, Shifeng finally revealed his face. He looked exactly like the photo everyone had seen. When Shifeng stopped, Zhao Shuamei and the others also stopped. Seeing this, Fang Ping shouted, "What are you looking at? Do it." At this time, since they had confirmed that he was the target, should they stop and chat? The few of them reacted immediately. They did not make a sound and quickly surrounded Shifeng. Shifeng also roughly understood the situation. He said in a low voice, "Martial arts university students." His voice was not loud, and he did not expect them to answer. Seeing that it was a group of young people, Shifeng already had an idea. They were not from the military or Department of Investigation Services. They were martial arts university students. Taking a few more steps back, Shifeng did not wait for anyone to answer. Instead, he looked around. At this moment, Zhao Qing and the others also quickly surrounded him. A group of people. Seeing that it was a group of people, Shifeng was not as anxious as he was at the beginning. Martial arts university students and powerhouses usually acted alone. A group of people surrounding him meant that they were not very strong. The few people who attacked him earlier did not react too quickly either. This made Shifeng feel slightly relieved. After looking around quickly, Shifeng's gaze quickly landed on Zhao Shuamei. Zhao Shuamei's direction was near the sea. Although this group of people was not strong, Shifeng had no intention of tangling with them. If he was discovered, it was better to run than to fight. Who knew if there would be more people coming? He had the strength of rank 2, and now it seemed like all the people coming out were rank 1. This did not fit the style of the military and martial arts universities. Thinking of this, Shifeng's movements were not slow. Ignoring the few people beside him, Shifeng ran directly toward Zhao Shuamei. Seeing this, Zhao Shuamei swept her long staff, aiming for Shifeng's head. Shifeng's head dodged slightly, his body twisting. His hands suddenly grabbed Zhao Shuamei's long staff. Fang Ping, who had just caught up, saw this and his eyes narrowed. He shouted, "Retreat!" Zhao Shuamei did not understand, but she did not hesitate. Her long staff shook, and she retreated hurriedly. Shifeng did not entangle himself. Zhao Shuamei retreated. There was no one blocking his way, so he immediately ran. Fang Ping's footsteps were slightly slower, but when he saw that Tang Songting had once again caught up to Shifeng, he gritted his teeth and said loudly, "He's rank 2. He's honed his hand bones." This time, everyone suddenly came to their senses. Everyone did not react before, but now they remembered that the information said that Shifeng honed his lower limbs. However, Zhao Shuamei's full force strike was easily caught by the other party. This was not something a rank 1 martial artist who honed his lower limbs could do. Shifeng, who was running away, was stunned. "He doesn't know I'm rank 2? Not from a martial arts university?" Although he thought this, Shifeng did not hesitate and continued to run. Tang Songting, however, said loudly, "He's just entered rank 2. If he fails, his credits will be deducted. Don't let him get away." When the others heard this, they subconsciously continued to intercept him. Although Fang Ping wanted to stop chasing, the others insisted on fighting to the death. He could not just stand by and watch. Initially, Shifeng wanted to continue running, but suddenly he stopped in his tracks. He stopped, his face filled with fear and sternness. "Kill one to break even," Shifeng muttered inaudibly. This time, he did not run. He turned his head to look at Tang Songting and the others who were chasing him. "Do you think I'm a training target?" Shifeng was not stupid. He quickly understood what he meant. His eyes flashed red. There was a powerhouse in front of him. He could not run. He would definitely die this time. At the same time, Fang Ping also felt a flash of rich vitality force. He cursed F*CK. He instantly understood. That must be Zhou Shiping. Chapter 134. At that moment, there were powerhouses blocking their way. Shifeng knew he was going to die. This kind of person was not to be trifled with. Fang Ping wanted everyone to retreat, but when he saw Zhao Qing and the others closing in and Shifeng stopping, he knew they could not run now. If he ran, he might be fine, but Zhao Qing and the others might be killed. Would Zhou Shiping show up? Fang Ping did not know. Some martial arts university instructors were cold-blooded. They had seen many deaths. They might care about their own, but they were indifferent to the lives of others. If Zhao Qing and the others were seriously injured or killed, it would motivate Fang Ping and the others to pursue greater strength. To them, it would all be worth it. It's not undefeatable. Now that things had come to this, they could talk about it later. The most important thing now was not to panic. It would be troublesome if they were defeated one by one. Fang Ping shouted, "Everyone else, retreat. Tang, Zhao, surround with me." As soon as Fang Ping finished speaking, Shifeng moved, heading straight for Zhao Xuemei. Compared to Tang Songding's saber, the staff was less dangerous. As for Fang Ping, it was obvious he was the leader. He was not as easy to kill as this woman. Zhao Xuemei already knew her opponent was a rank 2 martial artist. Her eyes flashed, and the staff quickly stabbed at Shifeng's chest. Tang Songding's saber also slashed at her from behind. Fang Ping straightened his toes and kicked at Shifeng's kneecap. Shifeng did not change his mind. He reached out to grab the staff again. This time, Zhao Xuemei did not retreat. Shifeng did not evade either. The moment he grabbed the staff, the sound of metal colliding came from his right hand. Shifeng ignored the numbness in his hand. His vitality was fully unleashed, and he yanked the staff forward. Zhao Xuemei's body staggered slightly. Her vitality was not as good as her opponent's, and she had not honed her upper limbs. She quickly shook the staff. This time, the effect was not obvious. Shifeng had no intention of evading. Zhao Xuemei was no match for him. "Come here!" Shifeng roared. His legs leaped up, avoiding Fang Ping's puncture kick. At the same time, Zhao Xuemei was still wrestling with him. Unexpectedly, Shifeng abruptly released his strength following her pull and was pulled forward by Zhao Xuemei. Zhao Xuemei's expression changed, and she hurriedly retreated. Shifeng, however, had his eyes on her. He ignored Fang Ping, who was beside him, and Tang Songting, who was behind him. Straightening his spine, his right leg lashed out at Zhao Xuemei's waist. At this moment, Zhao Xuemei had to either abandon the staff or endure the blow. Without any hesitation, Zhao Xuemei released her grip and retreated once more. The moment she stepped back, the alloy staff landed in Shifeng's hands. Shifeng grabbed the staff with both hands and turned around to hack at Tang Songting. At this moment, Tang Songting also slashed down with his saber. Clang! The sound of metal clashing could be heard instantly. Tang Songting's perlicue was numb. In terms of strength, he was far weaker than Shifeng. Shifeng's strike instantly caused him to lose his balance. F***CK. Fang Ping cursed. He did not know if he was cursing Zhao Xuemei or someone else. For these rank 1 and 2 martial artists, the effectiveness of their weapons was still very obvious. Now that Zhao Xuemei had lost her weapon, even if Shifeng did not know any staff techniques, he would still be able to defeat her. However, he used brute force to slash, and if he was hit, the consequences would be unimaginable. His mind was no longer filled with random thoughts. He looked at Zhao Xuemei and roared, "You go up, I'll go down. Tang, hold them off for a while." Tang Songting groaned inwardly. He could only clench his hands and hold his saber to meet his opponent head-on. He had honed the bones of his upper limbs. If Shifeng relied solely on the strength of his upper limbs to hack at him, he would not be completely defenseless. Clang clang could be heard continuously as Shifeng continued to hack at him. Zhao Xuemei pursed her lips and attacked Shifeng from behind, forcing him to keep dodging. Fong Ping, who had just said he would attack his lower body, straightened his right leg and kicked at Shifeng's right arm. Shifeng heard the sound and glanced at it from the corner of his eye. His expression changed slightly, and he whipped out his right leg, instantly colliding with the tip of Fong Ping's foot. Pooh! The power of Fong Ping's foot exceeded Shifeng's expectations. The tip of Fong Ping's foot pierced directly into his flesh. You're asking for it. Shifeng felt a sharp pain. His eyes were bloodshot. He raised his staff and stopped hacking at Tang Songting. Instead, he looked like he was going to smash Fong Ping's head. Tang Songting, whose perlicue was torn, did not think of anything else. Instead, he heaved a sigh of relief. Fong Ping also thought that Shifeng was provoked by him and wanted to attack him, so he quickly dodged. However, he did not expect that Shifeng was just faking it. The staff suddenly changed direction and swept at Tang Songting. Bang! Crack! The sound of bones cracking could be heard. Tang Songting's face instantly turned pale, and his left arm drooped. Without time to counterattack, Tang Songting retreated hurriedly. Shifeng's move was successful. Fong Ping was still dodging when Zhao Xuemei kicked his back. Shifeng staggered slightly, but he laughed coldly. Ignoring the pain in his back and leg, he continued to chase Tang Songting. Tang Songting's left arm was crippled, and his strength was greatly reduced. If he was caught again, he would most likely be beaten to death. Fong Ping could not care less about the impact of his misjudgment. He hurriedly started chasing. However, when he saw the staff in Shifeng's hand sweeping at him, he immediately took a step back in frustration. "Give me the saber, and you step back," Fong Ping shouted. Not far away, Tang Songting hesitated, but he quickly made up his mind. Gritting his teeth, he tossed the saber at Fong Ping and retreated. "Zhao Qing, you guys hold him off for a moment," Fong Ping shouted again. Zhao Qing and the others did not hesitate. They let Shifeng catch up to Tang Songting. Without his saber, Tang Songting could very well be killed. If Tang Songting died, it would be a mess. Once there was a mess, it would be over. Once they stopped him, Shifeng did not bother. He swung his staff and was about to knock the saber away when Zhao Xuemei cooperated with him and kicked his arm. Shifeng dodged slightly, and Fong Ping caught the saber. Once the saber was in his hand, Fong Ping was much more courageous. He swung the saber and slashed. Clang! The saber and staff collided again. Fong Ping felt his arm go numb. Shifeng's expression also changed. His opponent's vitality was no weaker than his. Clang! The sound of the collision continued. After all, Shifeng was not used to using a staff, so he felt like he was restricting himself. Gritting his teeth, Shifeng dodged the saber and swung his staff at Zhao Xuemei, who was helping from the side. Fong Ping's saber missed. He quickly changed direction and slashed at Shifeng's waist. With a rip, Shifeng's clothes were cut, and his waist was immediately bleeding. Although the saber did not cut him, Shifeng ignored it and hit Zhao Xuemei's right leg. Bang! Ah! Zhao Xuemei screamed and retreated quickly. Large drops of sweat rolled down her face. Bastard! Fong Ping panicked. Zhao Xuemei and Tang Songting were both injured. Although Shifeng was also injured, he had lost two of their strongest fighters, and Shifeng's injuries were not serious. I can't continue. Fong Ping had been attacking but did not dare to fight head-on. If something went wrong, he would retreat immediately. This also made it difficult for him to hold the enemy back. At this moment, he did not have time to reflect on his cowardice. Fong Ping made up his mind. He did not believe that Zhou Shiping would watch them all die. At most, he would just suffer some injuries. Thinking of this, Fong Ping hesitated no more. His saber quickly slashed at Shifeng. Shifeng had also noticed Fong Ping's weakness. Seeing this, he did not block but swung his staff at Fong Ping's right leg. This time, Fong Ping did not retreat immediately like before. His saber slashed down without hesitation. Pooh! Bang! The saber hit Shifeng's left arm. Fong Ping's face was pale. He felt like his right leg did not belong to him anymore. Before he could scream, Shifeng let out a blood-curdling scream. Smack! His left arm fell off. He had just entered rank 2. Although his hand bones had been honed, it was not to the extent of honing his arm. The alloy saber was extremely sharp. One slash, and his left arm was cut off. Seeing this, Fong Ping did not care about the pain. He roared, "Let's go together and kill him!" Zhao Qing and the others heard this and immediately surrounded him. Tang Songting and Zhao Shuomei did not care about their pain. Fong Ping roared again, "You guys restrain his staff. I'll kill him." He was worried about the alloy staff. If he was hit in the head by this staff, he would die too. However, as long as he could restrain him, the one-armed Shifeng might not be able to withstand more than a few slashes. Fong Ping had just finished shouting when the pale-faced Shifeng suddenly abandoned the staff. He had completed honing his lower limbs. Now that he had lost an arm, using the staff would instead restrain his ability. Although the staff had its advantages, it also reduced Shifeng's space. Now that he abandoned the staff, Shifeng went straight for Zhao Qing and the others. Although they were not strong, they were a hindrance to him. Zhao Qing's face was pale, but he did not retreat. Behind him, Fong Ping did not hesitate this time. Ignoring the pain in his leg, he swung his saber and slashed. Seeing this, Zhao Shuomei and the others attacked from different directions. Shifeng's eyes flashed fiercely. Without hesitation, he punched at Zhao Qing. Zhao Qing swung his fists to block. Their fists collided instantly. Zhao Qing retreated, his face flushed. Shifeng's punch pushed him back. Only then did he crouch down and kick at Fong Ping, who was behind him, as if his leg had no bones. Fong Ping's right leg was slightly inconvenient, but he forced himself to stand. His left leg straightened, the tip of his foot jabbing at Shifeng. He did not hesitate either. The saber made an explosive sound as it rubbed against the air. The saber slashed at Shifeng's head. Die. Shifeng had lost his left arm and was surrounded by so many people. There was also a powerhouse waiting outside. He knew he would die without a doubt, so he did not dodge this time. Before the saber landed, their legs came into contact. Bam! Flesh and bone collided. Fong Ping's face paled again. He felt like his toes were about to break. In the next moment, Fong Ping's saber hit Shifeng. It did not hit his head, but his collarbone. Shifeng's eyes were bloodshot, but he laughed coldly. His right hand pressed down on the saber, preventing Fong Ping from pulling it out. He lifted his leg and kicked at Fong Ping again. Fong Ping cursed under his breath. He did not let go of the saber. He increased the force in his hand and jabbed his left leg again. With a chi, the tip of Fong Ping's foot sank deep into the flesh of his opponent's calf. Shifeng's face was pale. He glared at Fong Ping, then looked at the others who were attacking him. The difference between rank 2 and rank 1 was not enough to make one despair. At this moment, he was seriously injured. His collarbone was cut by Fong Ping, and his leg was injured. His right arm was pressed against the saber, unable to move. He could only let others kick him. "I didn't expect to be killed by you brats." Shifeng gritted his teeth. Blood seeped from his mouth. Suddenly, his right hand let go of the saber and grabbed Tang Songting. Tang Songting's left arm was waving his right fist, ready to hit Shifeng's head. Shifeng suddenly gave up on pressing down on the saber. His right hand grabbed Tang Songting's right fist, and with a pull, he grabbed Tang Songting. His eyes were bloodshot, and he smashed his head into Tang Songting's head. Even if he had to die, he would not be satisfied until he killed one of them. "Save me." Tang Songting was terrified. He could not lift his left arm, and his right arm was grabbed. It looked like it was about to collide with the other's head. Fong Ping had no time to pull out the saber stuck in his collarbone. He abandoned the saber, clenched his fists, and punched at Shifeng's head. Bang! Fong Ping did not stop. He continued punching. Bang! 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 Due to inertia, Shifeng continued to hold onto Tang Songting's arm. Their heads finally collided. Tang Songting screamed, but he realized that his head did not explode, as he imagined. It only hurt a little. He opened his eyes, and this time he screamed even louder. "Quick, get him away!" Tang Songting's face was as white as a sheet. In his field of vision, an unknown liquid kept dripping from Shifeng's head. It was Fong Ping. At this moment, Shifeng was still holding onto him tightly. Their heads were inches apart, and Tang Songting could feel some of the liquid splattering on his face. No one paid attention to him. Fong Ping continued punching Zhao Xuemei, and the others kept punching until Shifeng was completely motionless. Only then did they stop, breathing heavily. "Let's see if he's still breathing." Fong Ping sat on the ground, panting. In his heart, however, he knew that Shifeng was definitely dead. If he did not die after that, then Shifeng really had an immortal body. Among the crowd, a few uninjured members walked forward cautiously. Someone kicked Shifeng harshly before reaching for his neck. After a while, he sighed in relief. "He's dead." "That's good." As he said that, Fong Ping did not care about the others. He pulled up his pants and looked. His right calf was a dark purple. Fong Ping cursed under his breath when he tried to circulate his vitality to feel it. His bones were not broken, but the injury was not light. He would need to recuperate for a while to recover. Only then did Fong Ping look at the others. "How are you guys?" Tang Songting's face was still pale. He did not look at Shifeng, who was on the ground. He said in a low voice, "My left arm is slightly broken. I need to rest for a few days. I need to take at least a rank 1 bone honing pill." A rank 1 bone honing pill was worth 15 credits. The mission reward was given to him alone to make up for the loss. Zhao Xuemei also said in a low voice, "My right calf is injured. I need to recuperate. A bone in my hand is broken." Zhao Qing, who was beside them, clutched his hand. His expression did not look too good. A rank 1 bone honing pill was necessary for a broken bone. Even a bone honing pill might not be enough. Perhaps other healing pills were needed. The others were fine. Although some were affected, their injuries were not serious. Fong Ping did not console them. He said mildly, "This is what a rank 2 martial artist is like. There were 10 of us. Although we won in the end, this mission was a huge loss. My opponent is probably not that strong among the rank 2 martial artists. At least, that's the feeling he gave me. His upper limbs were just honed, and not yet completed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to chop off his left arm. If his left arm hadn't been broken, we might not even be alive right now." Zhao Xuemei blamed herself. "I'm sorry. It's my fault." She had thrown away her alloy staff, causing it to become Shifeng's weapon. That was why the others did not dare to get close to him. Of course, if they had gotten close, the outcome might not have been better. Tang Songting did not say anything. Fong Ping exhaled and said, "It's all the same. We all made mistakes. Fortunately, the outcome is still good. I don't want to criticize anyone. I made a mistake myself this time. Fortunately, no one panicked. It's better than I expected." Zhao Qing and the others did not run. If 1 or 2 of them ran and did not block Shifeng's way, Shifeng might have killed Tang Songting. With the death of Tang Songting, Shifeng would have less to worry about. More people might die later on. Fong Ping did not bring up the matter anymore. He did not care about the others' expressions and went forward to search Shifeng's body. When Huang Bin escaped, he had many good things on him. Did Shifeng not have any? Wu Kepeng, Zhou Yuehong, go check the house. Bring the saber on the door and search for other things. Okay. The two of them hurried to the rental house, not far away. Fang Ping said, Zhang Hao, Lu Dasheng, the two of you guard the perimeter. Don't let anyone come in. After the arrangements were made, Fang Ping found something. He took it out from Shifeng's shirt pocket. After looking at it for a while, his face lit up. Rank 1 bone-honing pills. How many? Tang Songting asked hurriedly. 3. That's good. Tang Songting breathed a sigh of relief. 3 rank 1 bone-honing pills were not a small amount. After a while, Wu Kepeng and Zhou Yuehong came out. Zhou Yuehong said immediately, 1 alloy dagger, 200,000 in cash, and 5 normal vitality pills. According to the market price, the pills were worth 2 million, and the dagger was worth about 500,000. Including the cash, it was 7 million. That was why the mission rewards were not much. These martial artists all had some good stuff on them. Put the things away first. We'll distribute them later. Let's go talk to Teacher Zhou first. Fang Ping grit his teeth. Although no one died this time, they were all injured. Only children who cried would get milk. Even if he could not get back at them, he had to talk to them. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.